Okay, we are live. Welcome to an early edition of Nets Basketball. Welcome. And I'm a bit tired. But we're here. It is Nets versus the Portland Trailblazers. We have not really got a pre-game prepared for this one. It is just straight in. It is 10 past 7 in the morning where I am right now. So I've got to keep the voice down, but we are here to do a full play by play. It's going to be I'll try to be as enthusiastic as possible whilst also keeping the volume well down. Starting lineup for the Nets remains the same. For Portland, I am not able to find the starting lineup actually. They are missing DeAndre Ayton. They're missing Matisse Thybulle. They're also missing someone else. Don't know what his name is. Completely forgot. Just trying to find the starting lineup. I cannot find it anywhere. Oh, it's already started the game. Shit. For some reason my stream was buffering. So the Nets, it looks like the Thunder. Oh, sorry, not the Thunder. That's who we played the other day. Still waking up. Simons, Grant, Kamara, Duop, Reith, and who is that? Scoot Henderson is the other guy. Good cut by Grant. He wasn't fouled. It's a rebound by Bridges. And he'll get it to Dinwiddie on the outside. Claxton down the middle. Move and gets Reith out of the way. And the Nets are on the board for the first time today. I'm just going to get this scoreboard synced up. So the Nets' first basket is made. Finney Smith getting the start as usual. He's guarding Simons at this stage. Shoots over the top and misses the rebound by Claxton. And he will push it ahead. Get it to Dinwiddie. Across to Finney Smith. Open three. It's off. But you notice the Nets the other day used the switch defense. And it was working. That's the strength of these players. Reith misses. Dinwiddie the board. He's going to push the pace early. Bridges navigates to the corner. Kamara lost him. And the three is hit. And it's a 5-0 start for the Nets. So 5-0. Portland with an early deficit. They are facing Henderson on the outside will pull the trigger and he hits. And he's actually been in a really good run of form. He's been in a really good run of form as of recently. I think he's averaging about 17 points in the last 4 or 5 games. So he's on, while playing the best stretch of his career. The Blazers are playing a little bit of zone early. Dinwiddie will look for Johnson on the wraparound. He drives. Henderson trailing. The mid-range is open and Johnson hits. And it's 7-3 Nets early in the first quarter. 2.5 minutes in. Jeremy Grant on the outside will use the Reith screen and then find his way under the basket. Claxton picks him up nicely. The switch defense helping and it locks him up. And they have to reset. Grant will shoot. And he will make. And that's not an easy shot by any stretch. So that's one way you can breach our defensive scheme. Score a contested bucket over the top of us. Dinwiddie. The screen. Bridges on the wing. Will drive. Kamara is the defender. Now Finney Smith back out to Bridges. There's an open look. And he hits again. And Mikal was awful the other day. He could not hit a 3 for his life. If his life was on the line, he would have been dead because he just could not make a bucket for his life. So it's good to see him make 2 early threes. Reith on the drive, blocked by Claxton. Bridges the board. Bridges down the middle, the drive, and it was knocked out of play off the Blazers. It will be Nets ball, but yet again, the defense looking really solid early. And that's, of course, going to be essential for us becoming a better basketball team because we've been so far off league average. Johnson had an open three, which he hit, but it was a foul prior to the shot. So it's going to be Nets on the side. It is a morning miracle, yeah, that I actually got here. I'm actually a bit amazed that I actually did rock up. And I actually feel pretty awake, which is good. Bridges is feeling it, and he misses the three, so that's a heat check of sorts. You don't take those unless you're feeling really confident, which I guess is a good sign, but the shot selection was very, very questionable. Simons on the perimeter will shoot a three as we switch again, and the miss is forced. The rebound by Johnson, and he will look to get us into a set. Dinwiddie on the wing, in rhythm three, that is off, and the rebound by Jeremy Grant, a great box out by him. So Portland only the 4 points, 5 points in 4 minutes. So it's fair to say that they have struggled in the early going, and the Nets' switch defense is really working well. Henderson on the perimeter, finding Reith under the basket, and Dinwiddie does well to hold Reith up, but it's going to be a foul on CJ Pryor. All right, so Portland will reset. It's a Reith to Simons up top. Back to Henderson, who scored their only three-pointer of the game. He gets into the mid-range. The floater is off. The rebound by Reith, and he missed it badly. And a board for Dinwiddie. It's a 3-on-2 fast break. Johnson. The Blazers get back, and it's going to be Finney-Smith who gives it back to Johnson on the wing. Bounce pass to Clax. He will look for a handoff, and it's going to be Bridges who comes to collect it. The drive on Kamara tries to move him. That's a foul, and he nearly got it to go. It'll be 2 shots for Mikal. And these are the sort of games you look at on the schedule and you say, well, if Mikal's going to get back into form, he's got to really exploit the bad teams. There's going to be a lot of weakness on the court for the Blazers, or should I say inexperience, because, you know, there's not necessarily weakness on the Blazers roster. It's just that they're inexperienced. Some of these players don't have much NBA exposure, so I mean they're putting up some good numbers. Some of their players. I didn't actually realize the Blazers had won 9 games already, because they had a really slow start to the year, but it looks like they've done pretty well recently. Henderson's really helping that, and he's got the ball in his hands right now. He's facilitating. He gives it to Simons up top. Bridges, and now the switch. Claxton will pick him up, and yet again, there is no way through. They give it to Reith, who is short on the layup attempt. And what? I thought that was Nets basketball. It's actually Blazers ball. Claxton was trying to save it, and it's out of play. So it will be the Blazers ball after the timeout ends. But I'll tell you what, this start has been actually superb, because we have only conceded 5 points in nearly half a quarter. And some of those shots are really difficult shots for a Blazers team who don't really have the firepower. Their bench, look at that bench. A lot of rookies on that team. 2 of their centers in their rotation are out. Thibault would usually get minutes. So look, Bridges, I put him in the spotlight today because I was hoping for a nice little, well, not a little game, a big game, because we need a big performance by him, and he's already got 8 points and 2 boards, which is absolutely ideal. And you can see the Nets are shooting it very well to open. 4 of 7 from the field, and the 2 threes being made by Mikal. He's also had a pair of free throws, which is nice. And then if you look at it from a Blazers perspective, well, it's a little bit dire. Reith has already taken 4 shots. Simons hasn't made 1. They are 2 of 10 at the moment, and they haven't had a free throw. So not an ideal start if you're the Blazers. Also, well, they haven't turned the ball over. It's just that they cannot make a shot early. So obviously the key for the Nets is gonna be ensuring that you don't let yourself down with a bad mid portion of the game, because we've started this one really really well on the defensive side, and yet again the switch defense with Clax on the floor. I think it is just a bit of a no brainer to play him with that switching defensive scheme. Last year it worked so well. There were situations where we did look a little bit vulnerable, but for the most part, the switch defense was pretty good. Although it looks like we try to overcorrect with the rebounding issues we've had. But if you can play good defense, then best believe you're probably gonna be able to get more rebounds because you're forcing more misses, as opposed to if you weren't forcing stops, you're going to get less defensive rebounds. I didn't know why it wasn't as simple as saying, well, you play switch defense, but you've just got to have more knack on the glass. Like, did it hurt anybody to just play with a little bit more energy than we did last year and place more emphasis on that rebounding side of things? JV also acknowledged that we need to play with different defensive schemes game by game per situation and as per like a specific center. If we have Clax on the floor, that's going to be different to how we approach defense to when we have Dayron on the floor. The Blazers just scored a bucket. Dinwiddie will bounce pass to Bridges, and he just threw it away. I don't know what the fuck he was doing there. He wanted Claxton. Blazers in transition sort of fucked it up because the pass was a little bit off. Shaedon Sharpe is into the game for the first time today. Finney Smith knocked it away. And at the 6-minute mark, Blazers only down 5, but looking really, really dodgy offensively. Cam Thomas checks in at the 6:02 mark, and it will be Cam Johnson making way. So, first up of the game, Cam Thomas in. Claxton remains in. We have an offensive foul. Yep, an offensive foul on Reith, who's already got 2 personals. He's actually Australian, but with obviously a different heritage. I think I think he's African. So half a quarter already elapsed. Nets up 5 and have led the entirety of the way in this first quarter. It's Claxton up top. Love saying that name. Claxton. Bridges hangs. Oh my god, that is a ridiculous scoop. He wasn't even looking at the basket. That is absolutely ridiculous. That is a circus shot. That is, I mean, put a clown nose on. Put some clown shoes on, because that was an absolutely ridiculous circus shot. He's not even facing the basket, and he's just somehow scored it. And the Nets bench loving it with that celebration that I still cannot wrap my head around for Mikal Bridges this year. But the Nets up 8, and Mikal has got 11 points already. So he's been leading the way, clearly. Mid-range by Grant at the elbow, that's good. So forcing him to take mid-ranges, which I think we can accept. Bridges again. Finney Smith back to Bridges. Pass to Finney Smith, who is left alone top of the key. It's off, but Cam Thomas nearly had his hands on the rebound. He didn't get his hands dirty, though, and the Blazers were able to collapse. Bridges knocks it away as they were trying to look for Grant in the corner right in front of the Blazers bench. And yet again, there'll be another Blazers possession, but yet again, another disjointed Blazers possession. Dinwiddie and Finney Smith to the bench. O'Neal and DSJ into the game. So as if things weren't difficult enough for the Blazers on offense, they've got to deal with DSJ and such. But one weakness on the floor is the idea of having Cam Thomas playing defense. And he allows that 3-pointer. Shaedon Sharpe scores it. So his first bucket of the game, and now Bridges up top, the screen. Bridges misses, rebound, going the other way. So the Blazers will be able to cut this lead to 1 or actually tie things up. As much as their offense has been absolutely rank, it's been pretty trash. Still somehow only trail. I mean, we haven't forced a turnover yet, which is a little bit annoying. Henderson, good cut by Sharpe, and he lost the ball going up. That should have been a foul. Bridges it the other way. Dennis, I don't know why he's sitting in the corner. He should have taken the drive. Extra feed by Bridges. Claxton gets one up, and he scores for 2. And I think he wanted a whistle because it looked like he was holding his hand. So 17-12. Rant. Switch. Good defense by Clax at the rim. He forces a miss. And now the Nets will push. Claxton, the reverse is good. And when he's rim running, he's doing bits on the defensive end. And then he's just using that energy, channeling that adrenaline to get to the other side and beat his opponent down there. Then it's going to only result in good things on the other side of the ball. Grant responds again with another 2. And it's a 5-point lead. Dennis out to Bridges. He'll go down the middle. That's a foul. And we've got 2 more free throws coming up for Mikal here. And he's had an incredibly explosive start. Lax did block that Shaedon Sharpe dunk before. So he's just doing a bit of everything defensively at the moment. Great, a good welcome. Everyone else in my house are hoping the refs are good today so they don't wake up to, bro, where's the fucking foul? Yeah, I've got to keep tabs on things because yeah, if the referees get this one out of hand, I'm going to be a little bit irate. So yeah, I've got to just ensure I keep things compressed. So Brogdon's in for the Blazers. And who else is in? I'm not sure. But Bridges has 13 points. He's nearly outscoring the entire Blazers roster. And Mikal only scored 17 last game. He's struggled in recent times. Simons the drive. We tried the switch with Dayron as the big, and it did not work. Simons banks it in off the glass, and now Dennis to Dayron Sharpe. The handoff to O'Neal. That's a great use of the decoy. Dayron with the offensive board. He couldn't make it, but we're going to get 2 free throws for Dayron Sharpe. What a great decoy play. I don't know if it was as designed, but O'Neal was left open in the corner because of it. 2 Blazers thought that Cam Thomas was well and truly positioned to get that handoff. And obviously, with him being the clear number 1 on the court, well, I mean, Mikal started well and had a few things to say about that. You know, that attention he provides he attracts is going to cause a few issues for the Blazers, especially if Cam Thomas is on a heater early. Damn, we have had 15 or more offensive rebounds in every game for the last 6. That is insane. That's a record that stretches back to, well, that's like the best record we've had in that respect since 1998. The Nets with 7 free throws already. The Blazers yet to get to the line. Brogdon, good read by Dennis. He gets in the way as they were trying to send it to the corner. Dayron the dunk in transition on the break, and that's superb basketball. And yet again, that North Carolina chemistry between DSJ and Dayron, even though they didn't ever play together, is well and truly on display. Simons, the spin, he shoots over Bridges, another tough shot, which is off, but they are able to get more of a piece of it on the glass, and the Blazers recycle. The shot over Dayron is good, and you can't afford to be giving those offensive rebounds away. We're forcing misses. So Dennis to Dayron up top, looking for the pass, and he was tripped up, and it is going to be a timeout called. So they've got Chris Murray out on the court as well. So 24-18 early going. It's been a pretty good start. It's been primarily led through the way of Mikal Bridges. He's already got 13 points. He's got 2 boards. He's got a dime. He's doing a bit of everything, which is good. Cam Thomas has not scored, though he hasn't taken a shot yet. So efficiency's looking pretty good. When Claxton was on the board, when he was on the court, he was on the board very, very early on, and he's playing with an energy that is welcomed, I will say. We have not shot the ball well from 3, but it's good to see inside the arc. We have not missed, and we've also had 7 free throws already, 8 dimes on 8 field goals. So superb start in that respect. We do have 3 turnovers though, so we are shooting ourselves in the foot a little bit, but we're doing some of the right things. I mean, the Blazers have had 4 less rebounds already. They have hit a couple of threes, but the free throw number is the difference right now. We've made the same amount of field goals and 3-pointers. It's just the free throws that are the huge difference right now. Simons leads the way with 6, and then Grant's also got 6. It's been a lot of mid-ranges they've been taking, so not nearly as high percentage as they would like, but yeah, it hasn't been too bad of a start for the Blazers, all things considered, because they started off pretty slowly. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe as well if you are new. We'll be back for Nets Cavs, and believe it or not, that game's going to be even earlier than this one. That one starts at 6 a.m. here, and it starts at 2 p.m. if you're in the US. A midweek fixture in the US, or a midweek early afternoon fixture in the US. So a lot of people will be at work trying to cover that one, I would imagine. It's absolutely cooked that we play at 6 a.m. and I'm covering it because, well, we're only playing one game this week until one game in 8 days, which is just a little bit baffling, to be honest. But you've got to allow for that turnaround. Obviously, the jet lag that comes with the shenanigans of traveling abroad. Dayron at the line makes the first. So he was fouled on the previous play before the timeout was called. Dayron is at the line for his second trip. And he makes both. 3 of 4 from the line. So Dayron in his last 2 games, 7 of 8 from the line. Good return. Good cut by Kamara. And it'll be free throws coming up for the Blazers. I believe Kamara is who the Suns got with a pick. Ouch. So Cam Thomas is off. And it looks like he got elbowed in the face. So maybe a little bit of concussion protocol being done. Because, yeah, he got smacked. And it wasn't by any old elbow. It was Dayron's, which is probably a little bit more solid than, let's say, a Mikal Bridges elbow, for example. Although that's probably helping you out a little bit because Mikal Bridges is all bone. Kamara missed the first free throw. And the second is good. So he cuts it to 7. But obviously there was potential for more there. The Nets have DSJ, Dayron, Bridges, O'Neal, and Johnson. Mikal on the outside nearly lost the ball on the handoff. but he will get it to Dennis. Dayron, good move, and he scores again. And when your last line of defense is Shaedon Sharpe, it's not going to go well, him having to guard a center. So Dayron's been superb early. He's got 7. Simons looking for a pass. Good switching off the ball. And Dennis is able to read it, but Brogdon's able to rake it in. Oh my God. Dennis fouled Brogdon outside the arc. He nearly got the steal and then was a little bit overzealous on it. Yeah, that's a bit stupid. I don't know why he was doing that. 1 second left on the shot clock and he's decided to commit such a foul. So Brogdon makes the first at the line. That is a very big let-off for the Blazers. Seems like we're getting a lot more points in the paint last 2 games. I think that's just amplified by the fact that it was only a 2-pointer. I think that's amplified by the fact that we're getting out in transition a little bit more and navigating the break a little bit better. That is a terrible pass, but it somehow ends up with Dayron, and it's an open 3 for Johnson. And that's the most open one he'll get, and he missed it. They get it ahead to Sharpe. It was dead to shoot the 3. He didn't, and now Brogdon up top will hit. And I swear he's had some absolutely brilliant games in the past against the Nets. Always feels like he tortures us for 25 off the bench. That was knocked away. Chris Murray is in the game. And due to the identical twin nature of... Well, he's not twins with his... Is he twins with Keegan? I'm not sure. Because he looks like a carbon copy, like a clone. Dayron off the window tries a layup and didn't really back down Brogdon. So the Blazers can cut into this deficit a little bit more, end out the quarter on a good note. The mid-range is off. Oh my God. What is Dennis doing under the basket, you fucking idiot? 2 fouls in the last 2 minutes, which have been absolutely unnecessary. Sending the Blazers to the line when there has been no need for it. And so the Blazers will be able to earn their points at the charity stripe, which, I mean, for some teams is easier said than done. Kamara makes the first. So 1 free throw to come here. And he makes both. So he cuts it to 3. The Blazers on a 7-0 burst, and it's come off the back of a couple of bullshit, or not bullshit, dumb pieces of decision making by the Nets. There is a 5-second difference between shot and game. The Nets up 2. A high screen by Dayron. To the corner for Johnson. Bridges the cutter, gets into the paint. The layup is off. Dayron with the putback dunk. And he has been excellent in the opening quarter. Dennis reads it off the inbound. Takes way too long. Oh my God, what was the point of that? What was he thinking, shooting a fucking mid-range? He probably had someone open on the far side of the court. I mean, it'll go down as a steal, but at the same time... Come on now. The steal's pointless if you can't actually do anything with it. But it is a good quarter. We did not trail at any stage in that first quarter. The Nets are up 4 at them at the first change, and you can see the Blazers aren't shooting it particularly well from the field, but they are getting a few threes, and they've been to the free throw line in the last couple of possessions. So they did have a free throw drought for a while there, but they've done well to claw it back. Brogdon's got 5 off the bench, Simons with 6, and Grant also with 6. They've already had 3 turnovers, so not bad by us. Bridges already 13 points, on only 6 shots. So he's been highly efficient, gotten to the free throw line, done a little bit of everything, which is a performance that you really want to see from Mikal. Dayron's already got 9 and he accounts for all our bench points. The problem is the 3-point shooting. Only 2 threes made, but we are shooting the ball well from inside the arc. And we've also been to the free throw line 9 times. So doing a little bit of everything. Things are going right. The turnovers probably could be cut down a little bit, but I'm liking the defensive activity. Lax has already got 2 blocks and 6 points. So he has been, he's been required to do those sort of things, but that should be a given. The standard needs to be set, If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe if you're new. We'll be back later in the week for Nets Cavaliers. That's an even earlier start, and you don't have to show me respect, but it would be very respectful for you to watch the stream if I wake up at 6 a.m. That is not a threat. Oh my god. I still just can't wrap my head around how I've woken up for a game at 7 o'clock in the morning on my holidays. You need a serious level of commitment and dedication to wake up for a fucking Nets game at 7 o'clock. Maybe if we're an actually good team, you could justify it, but watching the Nets, is that a worthy investment? I'm not too sure. All right, so the Blazers will inbound. Lonnie Walker's in. He only played 5 minutes the other day. He did return. No Cam Thomas at this stage. So we're going to have to find our bucket getting elsewhere. That's an open 3 in the corner for Reith, and he hits. So they're shooting the ball well from the outside. Are we getting a timeout already? JV was not happy about that, and he's 19 seconds into the second quarter called a timeout. So obviously something that he would not like to see be made a habit out of. That was a pretty poor open 3. I think he's probably saying, well, if we're playing switch defense, it should not be that easy for threes to be that wide open. If we're switching, it's an easier way to play defense. So to allow an open look like that is a little bit piss poor. What was I going to say? Watford and Harry Giles are both guaranteed their contracts. So Keon Johnson also had a partially guaranteed contract, which wasn't. It doesn't look like that's been guaranteed. Dayron, including today, is 68% from the free throw line over the last 8 appearances. So if he can get that number up to maybe like 73%, 74%, then you're dealing with a decent free throw shooter that you can rely on to make the majority of free throws at the line. Dayron's the kind who has potential to get maybe 6 or 7 free throws a game. So if you can get 4 or 5 or 6 free throws out of him from those attempts and only miss 1 or 2, then that is a pretty good sort of asset to have on the court, because we know how good of a force he is on the interior. And the minute you start instilling a little bit of panic into the opposition, they will foul. So the more free throws you can connect on, the better. Bridges is still the only net to have a 3-pointer to his name. He's got both of our two 3-pointers. So we do need to see a little bit of something extra from the rest, because the other day we saw it from basically everyone, the work being done. So today we're getting the flip side. Yeah, what the fuck was So I think either Claxton was supposed to relocate to the corner and follow his man, or Cam Johnson needed to stay on the perimeter instead of following his man into the paint. So that's why the wide open three was allowed on the previous play, and obviously that would have been talked over in the timeout. Johnson to O'Neal. We have a foul. No, we have a 3-second call. Cam Thomas has a huge white bandage on his eyebrow. The fact that he's got a darker skin tone means that that white bandage is accentuated a little bit more. Gee, that's a really white bandage. And that's a very huge bandage as well. DSJ into the mid range, looking for the pass. He'll get it to Walker. 4 to shoot. He's got to get one up. Oh my god, why do we not know how to set a fucking screen, bro? Clax is pinged with the illegal screen, and the Blazers can actually tie the game here. So, Reith on the perimeter. Shaedon Sharpe. Picked up by Walker on the outside. The switch. Foul is called on the floor. I don't know who it's on. I think it's Lonnie Walker who will pick it up. Let's have a look. Yeah, he nearly sent Reith. Well, he did send Reith into the Blazers bench with a little bit of a barge. Sharpe the drive. How is that a foul? What is Lonnie Walker supposed to do in that situation? He's got his arms up. I swear he stayed pretty stable laterally, kept up with Sharpe. I think that was just a terrible shot, and they fucking reward him for that. So free throws for Shaedon Sharpe, and he's off on the first free throw. So no opportunity to take the lead, at least in this sequence. All right. And he makes the second. So Blazers split the pair, and now it's Dennis. Picked up by Brogdon. He's actually blitzed. And we get it to O'Neal to the corner for Walker on the catch. He's partially blocked by Reith. And the rebound for the Blazers. Brogdon on the outside. He's got Dennis on him. The screen by Murray. Brogdon had it knocked away. The switch again. The drive. The spin. Reith shoots and doesn't score. Oh my. I cannot believe that's a foul. How many fouls are we conceding with this bench unit? Dennis has picked up 3 personals. Let's have a look at the call. Oh, that is shocking. That is an absolutely abysmal decision. And they miss another free throw, the Blazers. But that is a joke. Barely touching him, and it's somehow called a fucking foul. If you're going to call that a foul, then we've got issues. We've got serious problems. The Reith free throw is made. So 31 apiece, and the Blazers are blitzing again. O'Neal pulls the trigger on a 3, and that is good. And those ones are really... I mean, that's a 50-50 every day of the week. On a good O'Neal day, that doesn't go down. Sorry, on a bad O'Neal day, that doesn't go down. On a good day, it does. That free throw is off by Murray. I think he just trapped himself under the basket and got denied by the rim. Dennis the layup, that's a wild miss. And a rebound by Brogdon. He flings it forward to Sharpe. The drive and spin. The turnaround in the mid-range. That doesn't get the bounce, but they get the board. They fumbled it. Clax did not need to even try keep that in because it was off the Blazers. I don't know what he was thinking there. He's just given him an extra look in. So, Blazers ball. Another chance. Grant. O'Neal, good defense, and it was nearly an airball by Grant. Good interruption. Good pass across court for Johnson. He gets by the closeout. Kick out to Dennis, and now O'Neal. Picked up by Sharpe. We'll get into the paint. Bounce pass is just rubbish, Royce. Grant the layup in transition. He missed it. Rebound by CJ. Dennis is down. He got tripped up by the cameraman on the side. Walker down the middle. Extra pass. Takes a dribble, does Claxton. And he was hit on the arm as he tried the reverse jam. So 2 free throws. A responsible foul by Jeremy Grant to make Clax earn his points. Yeah. So Clax at the free throw line for our first trip there in this quarter. Oh my god, that was disgusting. Cam Thomas is back in with one less eyebrow visible, replacing the other Cam on the lineup. All right. So second free throw for Clax is also off. He was good from the line last game. He was, I think, 7 of 10, so he's already missed nearly the same amount of free throws in one free throw trip, which is testament to how well he played. Another block by Claxton, and he's pushing the pace again. You can see him down the middle sprinting. Good cut by O'Neal, and the finger roll is good. And the Blazers will be forced into a timeout, but that is yet again defense leading to offense, and it's Claxton forcing the Blazers to find other ways to score outside of those rim attacks because they're constantly getting denied. And Clax has been superb in deterring. So good work by him. He's already got 3 blocks, I do believe. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe as well if you are new. We'll be back for the Paris game on Thursday if you are in the US, and it'll be Friday if you're in Australia, but a very early start. Also, there is a donation button, so if you'd like to show your support in another way, you can also do that. So many whistles in this game so far. There have been a lot of whistles, but majority of the fouls have been there. It's been a very pacey game. If we look at the box score, you can see the Nets have already had 12 free throws. The Blazers have had 10. The reason we led early on was primarily because of that free throw difference. We had the first 7 free throws of the game, so the Blazers have pegged it back well. They are shooting abysmally inside the arc. The few times they've shot a 3, they have made it. They have only had the 3 turnovers, so they've done well in that respect. Every Blazer has no more than 6, but nearly every Blazer has also scored. So a good bit of distribution, not one party completely ruling. Mikal Bridges has 13 for the Nets. He has been on the bench the entirety of this second quarter, as is usually the case. Clax has got 6, and he's already got a couple of blocks, so he's been pretty superb. Cam Johnson has 3. I don't remember Cam Johnson getting... Oh no, it wasn't an and one. It was a technical free throw, and he got a 2-pointer as well. O'Neal off the bench with 5. And then you've got DSJ with 4 dimes and 2 steals, but he has not made a shot. And he's also got 3 personals. So he's been one of the guys bailing the Blazers out and getting them to the free throw line. And then you've got Cam and Lonnie, who have not found their feet thus far in this game. Cam Thomas has been on and off, getting stitches. Lonnie Walker obviously only played 5 minutes on return last game. And he's probably still finding his feet. So it is going to be... So it's going to be the Blazers ball out of the timeout. Vince Carter on the broadcast, on the Yes broadcast, is something that I think a lot of people are pretty positive about and for. Oh, that's a good blitz. O'Neal knocked it away, and that was excellent work. Oh my god, it's a lob! Alley-oop jam off the glass. I've absolutely butchered the call there, but that was such a good play. I mean, granted, there was no Blazers defender back. What are we doing allowing open threes like that? Very lucky to have not given it away. It's a rebound for the Nets. We can get this out to double figures. O'Neal is feeling it. He turns it over. Trying to do too much yet again. That's the second time he's done that today. When he keeps things simple, he's a much better player. Grant for 3. That's good. Prime example of keeping it simple. Drive and kick. Shoot the ball. Score the ball. It's that simple. Stop piss farting around with these stupid fucking passes that make you look good, but they don't make the pass any better because they all achieve the same result. Walker. The screen. Gets into the paint. Shoots the mid-range, and that hits back iron, and Dayron is hit with the foul. And it's Duop Reith who drew it. He got in the way. That was such a good... That's like a LeBron James sort of transition dunk. The Nets bench got to get more hyped about that. We've got a few subs here for both sides. Dennis and Royce to the bench. Finney Smith and Dinwiddie back in. So it's Dinwiddie, Walker, Thomas. Oh my god, Cam. Why is Cam Thomas guarding Shaedon Sharpe? Cam Thomas couldn't be slower laterally, and Shaedon Sharpe couldn't be any more agile and athletic. Walker nearly lost the ball. Cam Thomas on the outside. Dayron nearly fucking fumbled a simple pass, and then Thomas for 3 hits on the outside, and that's his first bucket of the game. And that's a bucket that we probably did need just to regain a little bit of stability. Sharpe on the drive. Still picked up by Cam Thomas. It's good defense. Grant on the outside. Cross. Backs down Finney Smith. I like this. And that's a tough shot. And Finney Smith, that's superb defense. This switching is forcing the Blazers to play one-on-one. And it's really forcing them into some tough shots. That 3 by Walker was absolutely abysmal to the eye. And so we're going to have to play a bit more defense here. So Blazers have Simons, Reith, Henderson, Sharpe, and Grant. I would say they're 5 best players on the floor. Drive by Henderson and the kick out to Grant, and the 3 is open. It's off. The board by Cam Thomas, and he was fouled by Henderson. And it's one of those ones where you're trying to chase it up and you probably aren't able to stop yourself. And Henderson went straight in to Cam Thomas. So 6 minutes or just a little bit over to play in this first half here. The Nets are up 5. They have still been in a position where they have not trailed in this game. Thomas picks up his dribble. Bridges is back in and he stood on the sideline. So the turnover's piling up for the Nets. They've just got to calm down here. And it's interesting because when we were playing shit defense, we turned the ball over less. I don't know if that was an indicator that we were playing more passive or what. But we've turned the ball over in the last 2 games way too much. And that's kept oppositions in the game. Grant's going to back down Finney Smith again. Help side defense by Dayron. No way! I don't think Dayron was late to that. That was on the way up. That was on the way up. That's actually criminal. That should not have been a goaltend. So Dinwiddie on the outside. Hasn't scored a bucket yet, but he is fouled. And it's going to be free throws. Shaedon Sharpe picks up the personal. And those are one of the... That's a really jammy sort of free throw routine. That is on the way up. That was perfectly legal, that block before. Criminal that they've called that shit. Dinwiddie makes the first. So just yet again another thing for the referees to hang their hat on. Shit refereeing decisions. What a fucking surprise. Kamara's back in, which means who's to the bench? Jeremy Grant. So they're playing a much smaller lineup here. Sharpe the drive and kick. Henderson in rhythm. That's short. Rebound for Doe. Dinwiddie. Thomas. In rhythm 3. That is off. It hits back iron, but Finney-Smith with the offensive board. And now Dinwiddie on the outside. The screen by Dayron. Cam Thomas in the corner in front of the Nets bench. He gets into the mid-range where his spot is. That is his territory. He owns that zone and he knocks it down. In that stretch where he had not made a field goal in 20 attempts, those mid-ranges weren't going down, obviously, because no shot was going down. Simons just lost the ball, was able to repossess it. Finney-Smith knocked it away and was able to get the steal. He came up behind him like a librarian, missed the 3. Simons didn't hear him. That's why I said he came up behind him like a librarian. That's if you don't get the analogy. It's an iconic Aussie Rules analogy. If you're an Aussie Rules fan, you'll know. Thomas, the move inside, that's off. We've missed... Well, we started the game 2 of 3 from the outside and Bridges was funding that. Since that point, 2 of 12 from the perimeter. Kamara, top of the key, is well off on the 3. And Henderson fouls Cam Thomas yet again. And that's another hit to the face. So he's just not... he is not having a good day at the office in terms of remaining unscathed. He has been hit way too many times. Second time in the face, right where he would have gotten stitches and that would have been all bandaged up. So the Nets get into a set. Dayron the handoff to Bridges. The screen by Sharpe. Bridges into the paint. He's going to shoot on the baseline and he misses that one. And a good box out by, I'm not even sure who that is. Sharpe just pulls up for 3 and misses badly. Board by Bridges again. And he will push. He'll get into the paint. Hangs. Kick out. Great pass. Finney-Smith was bumped. Thomas gets into the mid-range. And he knocked it off his foot. And it's going the other way. So 45 plays 38. The Nets have had 8 turnovers. A lot of avoidable turnovers as well. Really careless ones. It hasn't been off the back of good Blazers defense. That's a block by Cam Thomas. And then they tried... Oh my goodness! That was ridiculous. Nearly was able to slam the shit out of that. And Dayron is not afraid to get in the way and ensure that Sharpe would have to go over the top of him and find that little extra inch of athleticism in order to dunk that ball. Instead, it'll be 2 free throws at the line. The Blazers finding it tough to score. We really should be up by more points here. Only a 6-point lead. The Blazers have only had 13 points the entire quarter. Dayron's got the exact same mentality as Jarrett Allen. On a number of occasions this year, he has not been afraid to contest those sort of dunk attempts. It's either do the embarrassing or be embarrassed on national TV. Even though this game isn't on national TV, you already know it's going to make the highlight reel if he does dunk that. But if he gets the block, he's probably getting the recognition for it. Dinwiddie, Claxton. He's actually going to use his handle and score off the glass. That was so good for a center. We need to see that more often, and I've said this a fair bit. We need to see a little bit of point center action from Clax, because I reckon he's got that in his bag, but he just hasn't been showing it off. Clax with the block. Henderson tried the layup. He's going to take it all the way himself, and that's going the other way. It's only when a defender gets in the way that he gets his feet muddled up, and he has no fucking clue what to do. It's when he's going on those diagonals that's better. Like, he tried to Euro, but he just fucking barged Kamara over. So the Nets up 7. We've got 2 and a bit minutes to play in this first half, and the Nets, they've led every step of the way. Simons on the perimeter will not step back for 3 because there's absolutely zero space. Kamara gets into the mid-range, and he travelled, and Cam Thomas forced the turnover. So a very disjointed set of possessions on both sides of the ball. Turnovers going both ways. Defensive stops occurring. So Bridges will bring it up as we enter the final 2 minutes of the first half. Bridges, Clax, Thomas, Dinwiddie, Finney-Smith, the 5. Bridges had it knocked away, but Cam Thomas was there to pick up the pieces. He's picked up by Kamara. He will drive. Try to create a bit of separation, and he missed it, but Dinwiddie got the board, and unfortunately, we were not aware that that shot did not hit the rim. And so another turnover. The turnovers keep piling up for the Nets. I think that's 9 or 10 in the first half, which is just unacceptable. A lot of them preventable. The Blazers have not scored a field goal in 4 minutes. We saw this the other day in the second quarter with the Thunder. They went about 5 minutes without a field goal, although that has been immediately cancelled out with a make by Simons off the window. Able to find that little bit of separation to get that one up and in over the top of Clax, who's been a threat blocking shots. Strong rebound by, I still don't know who that is. Simons on the perimeter. 3 over Dinwiddie. Oh, that is smooth. How are we only up 2, man? They have been utter garbage. Claxton. Out to Dinwiddie. Screen. Bounce pass. Claxton. Body bump. Lost the ball. Got it back and saved it. Shoveled it out to Dinwiddie. The 3 is good. And that's well saved by Spencer. And I think we've got to give credit to Clax as well for flinging it out there. He didn't seem to have any form of possession. That's good defense by Claxton, but the floater by Simons is good. And he's found a few buckets for the Blazers late in this quarter to get the deficit down to 3. So Thomas will hold for 1. There is a 10-second difference between shot and game. And it'll be Thomas, who I would assume doesn't give this shot up to anyone else. Well, he did, and he nearly turned it over, but he got it back and scored off the window for 2. That could have just as easily been a turnover, and the Blazers could have tied things up going into half-time, but instead, they're going to have to settle for a 1-possession game. If they make, it is Henderson who hits, and that is just absolutely rubbish defense. Dinwiddie puts one up. Oh, it was online, but it's off, and that's half-time. 52-50. I'm actually amazed that we are only up by 2 at the half, because I feel like the domination has been far more, prevalent. The Blazers had only scored 13 points to like the 3-minute mark of the second quarter. In the final 3 minutes, though, they scored 11. So they've actually... how do we only score 22 points in that quarter? A little bit baffling, but The defense is better. That is the third successive game we've held um a team to 50 points or less in a game or in a half, should I say? And that's in a first half. So um, it's it's much better looking on the defensive side, albeit against the Blazers. Mikal did not score a point in that second quarter. He was much more passive in that quarter. He only took the two shots, and I think sometimes the idea of him going off for 6 minutes sort of messes with his flow a little bit. So he didn't really get a look in. Spencer Dinwiddie with 3 dimes, Dennis off the bench, 3 personal fouls, but did score 2 points, had 2 steals, had 4 dimes. So he did a bit of everything. Cam Thomas is 7, and Shaedon Sharpe with 9 and 3. So pretty good numbers. Clax was excellent again. He had 8 points and 4 boards. Problem is though 3 turnovers, and that is, well, one of the big issues for the Nets. We have had 9 turnovers already. The 3-point shooting is absolutely trash. 17 shots for only 5 makes, and that is, well, that is contributing to lower percentages overall. Good thing is we've had 14 free throw attempts, which is something which we can definitely take to the bank. And it's a good free throw percentage as well. The only misses have come from our centers, 2 misses to Clax and 1 to Shaedon Sharpe. The Blazers, now, they're actually not shooting too much better, but they are making, well, they've nearly made the same amount of field goals. They've definitely made more threes. They've made more free throws. Or no, they haven't made more free throws, but they've gotten there nearly as much. Getting out rebounded, but they're looking after the basketball a little bit more. 6 turnovers to our 9, so that's giving them a few extra possessions. Shaedon Sharpe's got 8. He has not shot the ball very efficiently, but it is Simons and Jeremy Grant who are really supplementing their offense with points. It's going to be interesting though this second half how things pan out, because I think, well, we've got to knock down more threes. We started the game well, but not too many players have really done too much to help us out in that regard. You can see Dinwiddie hit a 3 at the back end of the quarter. O'Neal hit 1, and Cam Thomas has hit 1. So we've only got the 5 threes, and then you look at Lonnie Walker missed 2, Johnson missed 1, Finney Smith missed 3. So leaving a few threes on the table, it would be nice if Doe could hit a couple. Cam Johnson could actually take more than 2 shots, and Lonnie could actually get on the board because he hasn't scored since he returned. Granted, he's only played 10 minutes, so it's going to take a little bit of time for him to ease in. But yeah, that is the halftime break, and the Nets are up 2. What did you think of this first half? Because I wasn't too. I'm not too fussed about it at the moment. Let me just have a look as well. Team stats. And I'll leave these ones up for you. Yeah, we're dominating nearly every stat. It's just the 3-pointers that are a little bit of a downer at the moment. But we're holding them to 38% shooting. That is something you can definitely be proud of going into the second half. An interesting thing to note going into the game, the Blazers were 29th in points. They also were 30th in assists, so that would make sense because those stats are correlated. Turnovers, they're one of the worst turnover teams in the league, and we're actually 5th. So for us to have this many turnovers and for the Blazers to have this few, it's actually probably an outlier. Field goal percentage, they're the worst. Assist turnover ratio, they're the worst because they turn the ball over a ton and don't get too many assists. And 3-point percentage, they're not great. Steals, they are one of the best teams though. So even though they probably turn the ball over a lot, they probably do a fair bit to win some of those possessions back by getting steals. They've already got 4 steals in this game, so they're on track to meet that mark. I still question taking the hot handoff for such a long time. Why rest Mikal when he's firing? I don't know. I honestly could not answer that question for you. It definitely is baffling. Felt like we should be up by about 12. Look, I think the turnovers are really giving us a few issues. I think we're leaving quite a few points on the table, and the 3-pointers. I think everything else has been rock solid. Clax has been really good in the middle again. I think we need to get Mikal more touches in the second half, and Cam Thomas needs to get a few more looks. We need the wings to hit a couple more threes, and I think we'll be good to go. I don't think the Blazers have the offense to get this one done. I think defensively we're being strong, but it's we've got to convert some of those misses to points because we're throwing a lot away with the turnovers. We're committing points off turnovers 12-7 for the Blazers, so they've hit quite a few. Not too many fast break points or second chance points. We've only got 5. They've only got 6 second chance points, and we've only got 6 fast break points to 3. So, not really, in that respect, not really too high scoring. A lot of the points we've seen today have come from the free throw line, as we've mentioned. 20 of the points between both teams have come from that way. So yeah, there is a fair bit of work to be done in the second half, but I'm not too fussed with that first half. I do feel like we should be coming away with something more, but that being said, it's yeah, like there's 2 quarters to turn things round. Jesus. What was I gonna say? Holy fuck. Jared Allen has been ridiculous. In recent memory, JA has been. I've seen his stat lines, Jared Allen, and he has just been on crack. He's been on something different this season. Like, this season he's averaging 15 and 10. And he's had a double-double every game since December the 21st. He's gone 19, 17, and 7 dimes. He's also had in that stretch 4 games where he's had 6 dimes or more. Like, he's had games where he's gone 17 points, 19 boards, 7 dimes, 30 points, 12 boards, 6 dimes, 24 points, 23 boards, 6 dimes. He's been ridiculous today. 29 points, 16 boards, 2 dimes. He's actually been unreal. He started the season very, very slowly, but as the season's worn on, JA's been a force, and we've got to come up against him on. We've got to come up against him on Thursday, whenever it is. So he's averaging career bests for. He's not taking threes, but free throw percentage not bad. Equal career best for offensive boards. Rebounds aren't as good. Assists by far the best he's ever been. He's nearly doubled his previous best. He's averaging under a block and a steal a game, but wow, he did have a season with the Cavs where he was averaging 16 and 10. I believe he was an all-star, right? Was that the season he was an all-star when he averaged 16 and 10? But he's been really, really good. Really, really good so far. So we're going to have our hands full. The Cavaliers are fresh off a win against the Spurs. So, I mean, granted, we'll both be fresh because both teams are playing or are going to play each other with the same amount of rest. So, who have the Cavaliers got? I know there's a guy called Sam Merrill who's been balling out for them. I think he previously was on the Bucks. They won that one by 2. So, Sohan missed the 3 on the buzzer to win the game after he threw it out of bounds. So the Cavaliers, who do they have? Jared Allen, 29 and 16. Mitchell at 17 and 9 and shot at 7 of 18, made one of his 10 threes. Well, he's going to be overdue to have a 35-point game against us. Sam Merrill hit 5 threes. Max Strus was 2 of 9 from 3, so you can already bank on him hitting 6 threes against us. Niang had 11 points, 3 threes. Levert, 9 of 13 from the field, 4-5 from 3, 23 total. So they don't have Garland, they don't have Mobley. So the last time we played the Cavaliers, they torched us, I think. Off memory. Abs Nets. Let's have a look. So the last time we played them, which was opening night, we lost by 114 to 113. And in that game, I'll get the third quarter stuff set up as well. In that game, we shipped off 37 in the first and then held them under 30 for every quarter, from every quarter then on. Cam Thomas at 36 coming off the bench. It would be grouse if this box score actually loads up. I think it counts as a Cavaliers home game, so the Cavaliers obviously going to play one less in Cleveland this season. Box score. I'm just going to let that sit because it's not really loading up. It's being a bit frustrating. Okay. Let me just... I'm going to add a poll. Just keep it very, very simple for this time of day. Who wins? Alright. This box score is just refusing to rock up, so I'm going to find a different one. Nets, tabs. Okay, I can't even find it. Bloody hell. Oh well, the third quarter's about to start, so we can worry about that some other time. Maybe in the pre-game on Thursday or whenever it is. So the second quarter's about to get underway. Second half, my god, I'm lagging. I got like 500 ping. Alright, so next week we play the Heat, the Blazers, and the Lakers. I will not be able to do the Blazers and the Lakers. Frustrating, because the Lakers game is definitely one I wanted to watch with the viewers. I will be able to watch the game. It's just I won't be able to be in front of my computer. So we may do a video or something like that to recap the week if you're down to watch something like that. But already a turnover early in the second half for the Blazers. It's Bridges who is picked up by Simons, kicks it out to Dinwiddie. Johnson, Finney Smith. That's well defended. No space to shoot the three. So they're going to run us off the line. Johnson in the mid-range. The layup is off. And it's a foul on Kamara. So 2 shots coming up here for CJ early in the second half. So 2 free throws coming up for CJ. And, bro, he cannot make a fucking free throw. He's supposed to be a good free throw shooter. I cannot recall the last time CJ made a free throw. There's been some big ones he's missed. He makes 1 of 2. And so the Nets get it up to 3. Simons up top. The screen and switch. Henderson, the drive. Layup is off. He blew it. Good presence by Clax. It's a 2-on-1 fast break. Bridges the layup. He gets the easy roll off the rim. That's well maneuvered by the KD trade pairing. And so it's a 5-point lead for the Nets. Good start in this second half. Simons on the baseline. Flings it cross court. Kamara down the middle. The Euro. He shoots over Clax. Yet again, good defense. However, the second chance points end up in the lap of the Blazers as Kamara somehow ended up with it. So that's got to be really frustrating. Not too many second chance points we gave up, but when you do, it feels like you're giving away 5 points. Johnson snuck up from behind and for the second time today was able to get a steal in that manner. And Finney Smith hits the 3. And that is absolutely out of nothing. He redeems himself, though, after missing a 3 on the previous possession by hitting it down on the second chance. And so the Blazers will try return the 3, and they do. So Reith has been pretty good for them. And I don't think that was a secret going in. Bridges misses. And then Kamara fumbled it, but there was no net to swoop on it. Henderson, Grant in rhythm. That 3 is good, and we're tied at 58. So the Nets still have not lost the lead in this match, but they are very close to doing so. Bridges the drive. Step back 2. He's got to stop shooting this rubbish. He hasn't found that mid-range for ages. Henderson the drive. Claxton the chase down block. And the board by Johnson. Dinwiddie, that's a foul. Has to be. What the fuck? He got hit on the arm going up. How is that not a foul on the gather? Bro, Clax is actually funding a block party here. It's actually been ridiculous. Nets are going to be inbounding from the side. Dinwiddie. The screen. Shoots a 3. And that's off. Doesn't get the roll. Rebound by Kamara. And the Blazers can take the lead for the first time today. Simons up top. He's going to shoot a 3. And that's off. And the rebound by Claxton. Dinwiddie will facilitate here. Finds Bridges, who's going to face up on Simons. He's trapped. Kick out. Johnson, top of the key 3. Yes. Good ball movement. The chemistry is well and truly on show in this second half between those two thus far. Simons out to Henderson. Reith doesn't shoot the 3. Looking for the handoff. Simons shoots over Bridges. Doesn't get the bounce. The rebound by Johnson. Now, I beg you don't turn this shit over. Johnson. Drive. Kick out. Finney Smith. Oh, piss off. What a flop. Finney Smith hits the 3. That was the biggest flop I've ever seen. And we're going to get a timeout. Even though you're a rookie, you can't be falling over like that. Let's have a look. Was there a push off? Oh, that's soft. It did create separation, did extend the arm, but that he was over accentuating the contact. So the Nets will, while they found a little bit of breathing space after a couple makes on the perimeter, they start the second half strongly with a nice old 12-6 run, or 12-8 run. If you could call it a run, that is. You can see for the Blazers, or sorry, for the Nets, we've seen 15 points to Mikal, who's got to stop taking mid ranges because it's fucking doing my head in. Finney Smith, I did ask him at halftime to hit a couple threes in the second half, and he's done that in about 3 minutes. So he's reached his daily quota. And Cam Johnson, I also asked to hit a couple threes, and he's already hit one. So good start to the Nets' campaign in the second half to get this victory. They were 5 of 17 from 3 at halftime, and they have already gotten 3 threes, so that percentage has elevated immensely since, it was like 29% at halftime only a few minutes ago. And the shooting is up to 47%. We've been at the line already in the second half, which is a good positive sign. No turnovers thus far either, which is also a good sign. No net in the starting lineup is less than 5 points, which is also a good sign. Clax's 4 blocks, got a steal. He's just been everywhere. An everywhere man defensively, and it's no coincidence that we play the switch defense, and he's just been an absolute monster. It's almost as if when you use the players the right way, they're going to play better. You could already foresee if we traded Claxton without seeing these sort of performances, you already know we would have been absolutely fleeced because his trade value would have been low, and then we would have just seen him ball out at another ball club. The Blazers are getting some good offense from Simons and Grant, but our interior presence has been pretty strong. They're still shooting 53% from the outside, but they're only shooting 39% from the field. So they remain in the game on the back of that efficiency and their free throw attempts and their lack of turnovers in, well, if you compare it to ours, our turnover number. The Nets defending out of the timeout. Oh my god, Doe, you idiot. Forcing tough mid-range jumpers, you cannot afford to bail them out by committing fouls 17 to 20 feet from the basket. As a defense, as a defensive unit, that is the dream, giving up shots like that. So Grant at the free throw line makes the first. He cuts it to 5. Second is good. So it is a 4-point game. Bridges, they're playing a bit of zone. Dinwiddie had a bit of space to shoot the 3. Instead, he took a couple dribbles, passed it over to Doe, who was wide open, and he has hit 3 threes in 5 minutes after not making a field goal in the first half. So it's been a quality quarter by Doe. Been our main source of offense. Grant responds with a 2 in the mid-range. Doe went under the screen, and you could see his valiant attempt to stop Jeremy Grant, but it was far too easy. Finney Smith to Dinwiddie. The drive. Nope, he's not going to drive it. He's just going to wait for opportunities to open up. Bridges, Johnson, drive. And there was a late whistle. Kamara was the guy who was hit with the foul. And he was adamant that he didn't foul, but the referees are going to say otherwise, and it will be Nets ball. So we're getting free throws? We are. And Cam Johnson makes the first. So one free throw to come here. Nets can get it back up to 7. Strong start in this third quarter. Got to ensure that we reinforce this lead now, because it has been stuck at this margin. We haven't been able to get it over 8 or 9 all game. Couple of screens being set by the Blazers to get Dinwiddie on Simons, and Simons knocks that 3 down over him in that matchup. Finney Smith, what are they doing? They left him open. He should have shot the 3, to be honest. Bridges in the other corner. Oh my god, bro. A 3-second call on Clax, so we wouldn't have even been able to get a shot up. We shouldn't have been fucking around with it. I don't know why Finney Smith was driving it when he had an open look on the wing. Instead, it's our first turnover of the quarter. There haven't been too many turnovers in this quarter. Simons to Sharpe. In rhythm, 3 is off. And the rebound by Finney Smith to Dinwiddie now. The drive. Bounce pass to Bridges under the basket. He found an opportunity for the reverse. He blew it, but Clax was there for the follow. And he gets it back up to half a dozen as we exceed the halfway point of the third. Simons in a switch. Claxton picks him up on the perimeter. Shoots a step back 3. And he hits again. I mean, he's in my fantasy team. But for fuck's sake, can he stop making shots? Bridges the drive. Shoots the midi. And he hits and he breaches the zone. Those spaces are going to open up. And he's able to get it back up to 5. The switch again. Dinwiddie is picking up Simons again on the outside. The step back 3 again. He's feeling it, but he misses the 3 on this occasion, and the Nets can buff up the lead. Finney Smith to Bridges. Doesn't hesitate and hits the 3 over Jeremy Grant, and it's up to 8. We're starting to find a little bit of separation as the 3s continue to fall. Sharpe nearly lost the handle. Looking for the handoff. He gets it to Grant, who's picked up by Finney Smith. The switch. Claxton guarding him on the outside. Shoots over the top. Great defense, but Grant just towers over the top and hits. There's nothing you can do about that. Johnson, the response. He wanted a foul and he hit the 3. Insane make, and they didn't call a foul. Johnson was absolutely irate about the decision. All he can do is laugh. Because he's like, fuck me, this is terrible officiating. What can I do about it? But I mean, Nets and bad officiating couldn't be more hand in hand. Reith misses, but Henderson's there for the follow, and that was just unlucky. It fell fortuitously in the lap of Scoot, and it's back down to 7. But you can sense there's every opportunity to get the breathing space we need to close this one out. Bridges, well, they gave him so much room. 1 pass away, and Bridges hits another 3, and the Nets have been on an absolute tear from the outside in this third quarter. They lead by 10. That's their biggest lead of the game, and they've already hit more 3s in this quarter than they did the entire first half. They've hit 7 of their 10 3s. And it's helped fund a huge offensive quarter, and that is a foul. And so Shaedon Sharpe will go to the free throw line after converting the 2. So Sharpe can cut it to 7 at the 3:16 mark of the third. So subs have been made. Dennis back in. Dayron in. O'Neill in. So Finney Smith, Johnson, and one other to the bench, Claxton. So the free throw was not made. The and one not converted by Sharpe. And it will be the Nets who will play through Dayron Sharpe here. O'Neill, great cut. Dennis, why would you pump fake? You had an open layup. What are you doing? You had the positioning as well, and now Sharpe will pull up for 3 and hit. That has to be the dumbest thing I've ever seen DSJ do, and he's done some pretty dumb shit, such as chucking up step-back deep mid-ranges, and he's not even a mid-range shooter. O'Neill for 3, yes! We cannot miss from the outside in this third quarter. I cannot believe this. 85-77. We have scored 33 points already in the quarter. Reith, bro, you're kidding me. So even though we've hit 8 threes in the quarter, the Blazers have hit 6 of the their 9 threes. So they've actually shot it at a nearly same efficiency. So we're not even getting separation on the scoreboard because the Blazers are fucking scoring everything. So we're really letting them off here. I mean, they're making some difficult shots, but you got to be fucking kidding me. Seriously? The fucking Blazers, dude. Where to watch online for free? I don't know, because I have League Pass. So, has there been any observable change in JV's coaching last 2 games? The guys look to have switched on again. Well, I don't know if you were intending a pun, but the switch defense is seeming to work wonders more often than not. In this third quarter, though, the threes are being made at an uncanny rate for the Blazers. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and also subscribe if you are new. We'll be back for Nets versus Cavaliers. That game is gonna be a good one, I reckon. That is in like 3 or 4 days though, so a fair hiatus of Nets basketball before then. If we do look at the box score, you will see the Blazers are shooting 56% from 3, and I don't even think that is down a bad defense. They've made some really tough shots. Duop Reith, bro, has hit 3 threes. Simons has hit 3. Henderson's hit 2. I mean, we've kept him off the line in this third quarter, but the field goal percentage is boosted because of all these threes that they're hitting. They have not really turned the ball over in the quarter as well, which is really helping him out. For the Nets, Mikal Bridges, it's good to see him having a really good efficiency game today. He's already scored 23 on a pretty decent volume. Clax has got 10 and 5, and he's got 4 blocks, but 4 turnovers. Finney Smith and Cam Johnson have combined for 4 threes, and overall as a team, we've hit 13 threes now. We have hit 8 of our 11 threes in the quarter. We're shooting above 50% from the field and from the free throw line, shooting it pretty well, but yet we still only lead by 5, which is just a baffling sort of position to be in, because it feels like we've really dominated this game today. We've really dominated this game in this third quarter, but every single make by the Nets has been met with a response by the opposition. So Dayron, Cam, O'Neill, Bridges, and DSJ. The 5 on the floor for the Nets, so we're playing a couple of guards. Mikal at the free throw line to get up to 25 points for the first time in what feels like quite a while. This has been a really welcome performance because Mikal has needed this for a while just to get the confidence back up. Because there's been far too many inefficient games in recent memory. And so the Nets get it up to 7. This has been our best offensive quarter, but pretty stiff to not have capitalized, given we've made all of these shots. Grant the drive. That pass was, oh my God, you're kidding me, dude. Another foul. And this one was off the back of such a terrible Jeremy Grant miss that it actually fell in the lap of the Blazers center. And we were overwhelmed by size on the interior. So Nets will have to defend yet again. Final 2 minutes of the quarter for the Blazers. Henderson, Sharpe, Brogdon, who shoots a three, misses. Oh my. That has to be the most brain dead thing I've ever seen. And I saw DSJ do some bullshit layup attempt before. We had two Nets under the basket, uncontested, getting this rebound, and they've both fucking knocked it out of each other's hands. Got to get it in. Grant shoots a three. Quick trigger. Those 3 points, like, are we donating to a fucking charity? Because we are giving so many shots away. Dennis the layup, he blew it. It's going to be 2 shots. Don't really know how that didn't go down. So 2 shots coming up for DSJ. Like, today, it's been so avoidable. A lot of what our shortcomings have been. Turnovers, been stupid. Dennis makes the first. Turnovers have been stupid. Some of the offensive rebounding and fouling has just been dumb. And then mix that in with a bit of great shot making by the Blazers, and you've got a ball game, even for how well we've played. So Henderson on the outside. He'll get into the paint. And Cam Thomas on the back shoulder. Grant to the corner for Brogdon. He's picked up by Dennis. Now out to Sharpe. The switch. Dennis guarding Sharpe. That's a good matchup. They get it to the corner for Grant again. That three's off. And finally we actually get a rebound. O'Neal to Dennis. And now Dennis will drive. Takes on Brogdon. The kick out to O'Neal. Oh my God, he nearly traveled there. Nearly jumped without releasing the basketball. Thomas the drive on Sharpe, and he had Shaedon Sharpe on skates and was able to score the basket and get it up to 8. So the Nets can close out this quarter on a high, which is what they deserve. Henderson goes vertical. It's just not a foul. It's just not. Henderson's just been trash on the interior, and you reward garbage. So free throws coming up. Henderson makes free throw 1. Gets it down to 7. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe if you are new. Dinwiddie's back in. When is the last time Bridges had an efficient game from 3 and field goals? And I'll add to your comment, and also made a ton of free throws without a miss. He hasn't missed the free throw, and he's been to the line about 8 or 9 times. Or, well, he's had 8 or 9 free throws, so 4 or 5 times. Both free throws good by Henderson. Cuts it to 6. Now Cam Thomas will bring it ahead. I reckon we go for the 2 for 1 here. Cam Thomas is going to go for it, and the 3 is well short. Why couldn't he just drive it? I mean, it looks good if you make the 3, but I'd be far more happier with seeing a drive on that instead of a 3. It's like we feel like we need to go for something extra. We don't. You go for best shot available. That was clearly not the best shot available. And if you run out of time, so be it. All right. Brogdon One-on-one with Bridges. Gets into the paint. The rotation by Claxton looked late, but it wasn't because it deterred the layup enough. And now Bridges to Dennis down the middle. Layup. And it's a foul on Sharpe. And I don't think that was a foul either, but you know what? I have no choice but to say I'll take those, as the Blazers would have on the other end when they got the fouls. So, 2 free throws coming up for Dennis. He's already been to the line once this quarter. Made both. He makes one there. And the final free throw, which should end the quarter points-wise, unless Sharpe puts one up. And he does not get one off. So, three-quarter time is in the books. It is 93-85. We do not have 1 minute left. It's just deciding to be a bit of an idiot. We scored 41 points in that quarter after only scoring 52 in the entire first half. The problem was, I said at halftime that, well, if we start scoring the ball in abundance, then I don't think the Blazers have enough firepower to keep up. However, I was mistaken. They scored 35 in the quarter, so they remain in the game, even though they conceded 41 points. If we look at the box score, the Nets had 8 3-pointers in that quarter, and they shot it at 67%. So they shot 8 of 12. Their field goal percentage is superb. We've already been to the free throw line 24 times, so we haven't had too many offensive rebounds. But what we haven't gotten in second chance points is what we have gotten from the free throw line, and we're shooting it really well from there. Only the 2 turnovers in the third, which is a very good sign because we were turning it over far too carelessly in the first half. And would you look at that? We've got 4 players. So we've got 4 players in double figures already. Sorry, 3. But every player who has scored a point has at least 5. So there could be a number of players that hit 10 points in this last quarter if, things go the way the third quarter did. The Blazers remain in this game on the back of hitting 14 threes on 54%, although that's changed to 52%. Maybe they just missed one, and my I don't know why I started there. Maybe they're ahead of my feed. The free throws, far less. Turnovers hasn't really changed. Field goal percentage did go down at the back end of the quarter, and you can see Jeremy Grant's the high man with 23. Simons is 19. So they remain alive, purely off the back of those threes that they're making and their responsibility looking after the basketball. But they aren't doing a lot right on the defensive end, at least in that third quarter. Far too many open looks for us. And the Nets were well and truly putting the Blazers to the sword. So we start the last quarter with Dennis, Dayron, Cam, Dinwiddie, and O'Neal. It looks like Lonnie Walker may not play in this second half, so it looks like they're very slowly easing him back in. Dinwiddie was able to shove his assignment out of the way and wasn't able to get the shot to go. It was a push shot from about 5 to 10 feet out, and now Brogdon the other way. They'll look to cut into this deficit nice and early. Cam Thomas is guarding Reith under the basket, so we need to rotate across quicker. Brogdon, good pass. Or should I say good work by the Nets defensively to roll over and read that pass. And it will be a jump ball. Cam Thomas is going to have the tall order of needing to beat a center in the jump ball. And he's not athletic as it is. So I would back the Blazers in to get the... to have the advantage and probably win the jump ball here. No way. Oh, Cam nearly actually won it. Definitely nearly broke even. Simons is off on that floater and the rebound by Dennis. He'll send it back to O'Neal, who was trailing the play, and he hit back iron on the 3 and a rebound by Sharpe. So 1 minute gone in the final, and we have not seen a bucket yet by either side. It's Sharpe on a switch. He's got Sharpe on him. Sharpe v Sharpe. 3 is good. And he has a few words for the bench. And it's 93-88. So the Blazers just cannot miss from the outside. No two ways about it. They've actually had 10 more shots. Made the same amount. Dinwiddie, the Euro, thought he was fouled. He missed it, but Dayron was there for the follow. And this is the issue I have. Spencer Dinwiddie only has 5 points to his name. It almost feels like he's got to meet his daily quota. So he'll always put up these shots in a really crucial stage of the game where we can't afford to be settling for isolations and lazy team basketball, or lazy basketball that definitely doesn't consist of a team. Brogdon hits another 3. Seriously, the Blazers are not this good, man. How they are like one of the worst teams for points, and they very much look like they're going to eclipse that mark that they've set for themselves much earlier in the game. Cam Thomas's shot rims out, the rebound by Simons, and the Blazers can push the pace. It's Brogdon. Picked up by O'Neal. Gets under the basket. Well, O'Neal, I think, he thought he blocked it, but 2 shots coming up for the Blazers. So Brogdon at the free throw line. Once you stop their 3-point shooting, we should be okay, but we just haven't been able to shake them off all game. We have not trailed at any stage in this one. So it would be a very Netsy thing to do to fuck it up at the final hurdle. Like you run a full in like a 110 meter hurdles. You only run 100 meters. Oh my God! Dennis! That was the most disgusting point guard dunk I've seen a net ever score. That was out of nowhere. Dennis, Dayron, layup. Oh my God, he's blown it. The Blazers get it ahead. In transition, Brogdon to the corner for Sharpe. It's an open 3 for Kamara. That's off. And they had a chance to lead it. O'Neal keeps it alive. Brogdon swoops on it, and then Dennis knocks it out of play. But I'm just saying, this is one of the very petty issues I have with Cam Thomas. Every time there's a loose ball up for grabs, he just doesn't seem to give a fuck. He won't actually put his body on the line to dive for the loose ball. He'll never get his body in the way. Simons is back in, which remains a concern, but he's just turned it over to Claxton. He takes it all the way and he slams it down, hangs on the rim a little bit, and the Nets are up by 4. That's a great stop by the Nets and one we definitely needed. It didn't permit any of the Blazers from getting up a shot, especially one of those 3s that they haven't seemed to miss on. They've been stuck on automatic in that respect. Simons, that is a ridiculous layup. He's been on one in this game. So the Nets can be the first team to crack 100 here. If they can make a basket on this end. Bridges. No way, dude. Another fucking offensive foul by Claxton, dude. He's done this way too many times. They are showing that Dennis Smith dunk on repeat. Eight minutes to play in this last quarter. The Blazers can tie or take the lead. You would back them in to take the lead because their 3s have been a bit fucking ridiculous at times, if I'm being honest. O'Neal, Johnson, Bridges, Dennis, Claxton the 5. on the floor in this game. Simons, the switch. He's got Clax on him. He takes him off the dribble and is fouled. And so Claxton will pick it up. 2 free throws for Simons. He can actually tie the game here. How did Lonnie play? Still rusty. He's only played 5 minutes. Both games he's been back. So very small sample size. Not much to come to a conclusion with. Simons is short on the first. Every single time they have a chance to tie it or take the lead, they always throw. Milo, welcome to the stream. Supporting the Blazers, which, I mean, your side are putting up a good fight at the moment. Have been all day. Every time it seems like the Nets are going to find that little bit of that extra that they need. Blazers always had an answer. Bridges down the middle. Pass to Claxton. Takes a dribble. Oh, wow, that's well done. The Blazers committed too much on one side of Claxton's body that they gave away an easy runway to the basket if Claxton did something as simple as turn. Reith is fouled. Oh my God, that is a ridiculous layup. I can't believe this. How are we making these players look good? That is a crazy make. Royce O'Neal, if you're going to grab his arm, you bring him down. You don't fucking grab him and don't, and make it half-assed. You grab him and you escort him to the ground. So Reith at the line makes it, and we're tied at 101. I can't believe this is actually a game. I've actually felt like we've played a really good game today, and yet we still have conceded 101 points. Bridges in the mid-range. He's got to stop shooting those, bro. Every one, it seems, is taken. He has not made it. They can actually take the lead here. Reith. Looking for the pass to Simons. Gets by. Knocked away. Well done by Dennis. And with 6 to shoot, they're going to have to... Well, there's going to be a timeout for Portland. But the Nets are hanging on to a lead here. Granted, we haven't given up a lead as such. I mean, to be fair, we've had the lead all day, but it hasn't been one of those leads where you look like an absolute clown for, giving it up. It hasn't been a double-digit lead all game. Even though we've had the lead all game, it hasn't been a double-digit lead all game. So, in this quarter, well, the Blazers... I mean, they were down 8 at three-quarter time. They have not... Well, they've had a little bit of pep in their step in this last quarter. Anfernee Simons is 22. Jeremy Grant's got 23. Shaedon Sharpe has got 16. Really good contributions all round. And so they're hitting the three really, really well. Been to the free throw line a little bit. Got a few offensive rebounds. The turnovers have remained down. They've been really good. And well, for the Nets, we've actually made 3 less threes. We're shooting the ball far better, but we've had 10 less shots. We've had more free throws. The rebounding number is very, very... Well, we've actually got 6 more rebounds. And the assist number's fine. The turnovers have gone down. It's just It really is as simple as giving up way too many three-pointers. And the turnovers in the first half really cost us as well. Clax has been excellent. This is another double-double game for him. Continuing a stretch where he is averaging a double-double. No, he's not. Sorry. I was looking at the plus-minus and not the rebounds. Clax has got 5 turnovers, though. Couple offensive fouls in there. He's had 4 personals in the game. Quite a few players on 3 personals, so that indicates the amount of times we've bailed him out. It's going to be really interesting to see who closes the game, because you know, there's been good contributions all over the floor, as the box score would indicate. And also, as we've seen, the minute we start playing some ISO ball, it gets really, really dicey. So I think the fact that we're not leading is actually a really good thing, because it'll force us to make the right shot. At least I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that's the psychology of it all. So Mikal has scored all his points in the first and third quarters. He has not scored in the second or the last. So we've got, well, a bit of time to play in this one. 4 to shoot. Sharpe will drive. Layup is good. And they're in front. And this is the first lead of the game for the Blazers. Johnson. Back to Dennis. Back to Johnson. Open 3. That's well short. The rebound by Kamara. And the Blazers can reinforce their first lead of the game with the make here. Simons on the outside. Going to drive. Wraparound is knocked off Johnson, but gets to Sharpe anyway. He drives. Kick out to Kamara. 4 to shoot. It's Grant. He's doubled. He's forced into a pass. Simons puts one up. You have got to be kidding me. How can we not get a fucking rebound? Grant. Can't be asked. Seriously. Grant one-on-one with Clax. He's going to drive, and he does not get the bounce. You have got to be kidding me. You have got to be fucking kidding me, referee. You are absolutely all about yourself. What a fucking joke of a foul. He's boxing out, you fucking idiots. He's boxing out. That is ridiculous, bro. You've got to challenge that. That is just... What on earth is the foul for? Man can't fucking box out. Game's gone. The game is gone. When you can't even fucking box out. And so yet again, another possession for the Blazers. Simons into the paint. The kick out for Reith. Did he get that off? And he didn't even hit the rim. So the Nets get a stop. Blazers up 2. Just the served. The Blazers have not committed a foul in this quarter. The Nets have committed 5. So the Blazers will be going to the line the rest of the way. And the Nets aren't even close to reaching that. So they've got to start attacking. What the fuck are these refs doing, bro? They don't have a fucking idea. I don't know what was going on off the ball, but another foul has been committed. Oh my god. Let's have a look. Oh, you've got to be joking. You have got to be kidding me. These refs have been the most arse referees I've ever seen in my life. They have been so bad. So terrible. Words cannot describe how bad these referees have been. I could lightly touch the Blazers player with a feather and they would commit a foul. Or they would call a foul. That is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe they called a foul for that shit on the other side of the ball. Two consecutive fouls, which don't warrant anything close to a push at all. Maybe if you were guarding a 3-year-old kid and they've got a terrible center of gravity, but fuck me, that is embarrassing by the refs. Far out. So who's coming back into the game? Dayron, because Clax is on 5 fouls. We've got to get a bucket. Really struggling to find the buckets in this second half. Or in this last quarter, should I say. Bridges picks up his dribble out to Finney Smith. Good drive. Blocked. And it ends up with Reith. They're getting stops and we cannot. It's that simple. Simons to the corner for Kamara. Back to Simons. On the move, he hits. And Jark Vaughn is forced into a timeout. Oh my god. I cannot believe we are losing this game. Seriously, the Blazers somehow, I guarantee you they have not played this well all season. Blaming the refs for only 8 scored. If you could see the calls, I'm not blaming the refs for how many points we've scored. I'm blaming the refs for the fucking bullshit offensive fouls. Or the fouls. Like, Dorian Finney-Smith got hit with a foul for fucking boxing out. And legitimately boxing out. If there was a foul called for a scenario exactly like that on a regular basis, we would have players shooting 70 free throws a game. Because every single box out is exactly like that. Then on the other side of the ball, Dennis lightly nudges... I don't remember who it was, but lightly nudges one of their players and he fucking flails his arms and the referees bite. They play into it. It's like we've been awful this last quarter. Only the 8 points, of course. I can't really sugarcoat that. I actually am a bit bemused as to why Cam Thomas has not played at all in this last quarter, because we've needed offense, evidently. How does a team go from 41 points in the third quarter to scoring 8 in 7.5 minutes? I just cannot wrap my head around how a team is so bipolar. The Royce O'Neal disease, back at it again. Royce O'Neal is the embodiment of bipolar, of being bipolar. Follow up a good play, like he could block a shot, he could have a chase down block, and then fucking throw it into the 5th row on the fast break. You know, what more can you say? I mean, it really isn't rocket science why they're leading. It's because we have not been able to defend at all in this second half. 58 points shipped off. We've only scored 8 points in this quarter. Blazers have scored 23. We were up by 8 at 3/4 time. How have we blown this so badly? And the thing is, players like Spencer haven't even been on the floor, who usually contribute to the stagnant play. I don't know why we keep playing Dennis. He has not done anything defensively in this last quarter. Simons keeps scoring over the top of him. And we need offense. Why are we playing Dennis? At this point, I'd gamble on the offense more than the defense. Dayron the body bump. The spin, and he misses. Johnson with the board. Dennis, oh my god, it's a 3. Bridges knocked it off Grant, and it's going to be Nets ball. So well recycled. But the Nets scoring drought continues. And the Blazers will be happy to give Dennis open threes every day of the week. Dayron to Bridges. Got to get into a set here. Stagnant play off the ball. Bridges in the mid-range. He hits. Gets it down to 5. Now, you can score all you want. You have to get a stop. The Blazers, their 10-0 run is ended, but that doesn't mean the scoring will end. They get it to Reith, who's picked up by Shaedon Sharpe. Looking for a pass. Out to Grant. They got 7 to shoot. The switch. Oh, I don't like this matchup. 5 to shoot. 3 to shoot. Grant the drive. The move. Short on the shot off the window. Dennis will push. Bounce pass to Bridges. And the layup is good. And that's excellent team basketball. And that's very efficient use of the time. We get a stop, and you can see how well we were able to run the break. Dennis did a great job of using that athleticism and energy he's got to actually take advantage of an unset Blazers defense, who only had Anfernee Simons guarding the restricted area, and the Nets cut it to 3. So just like that, we're back in the game, and things are all good with the world. How is this possible at home to a 9-win Blazers team? Well, the Nets have time and time again impressed with how bad they can be at times. They lost to the 5-win Hornets. They lost to the 5-win Wizards. I was about to mix in the Wizards and the Pistons. We nearly lost to the Pistons. So we've had some absolutely stinky losses this year. This one is not done at all yet. It is only a one possession game, and there is a lot more than one possession's worth of time left in the game. So we've scored the last 4. We've just got to translate this now to defense. JV says to Cam, not yet. Says to Royce and Spence, come on guys, keep shooting threes. I have faith in you. Surprisingly, JV has not run with either of Spence or Royce down the stretch. It's been DSJ who's been getting this run, which I can't say I'm too mad about, but I would like to see Cam in for points purposes. That being said, if you back Dennis in to stop Anfernee Simons and, you know, encourage him to score over the better defender, well then so be it. To the corner for Grant, drive, good defense, blocked by Dayron, the board by the Nets. Dennis, transition 3, nope, we're not going to shoot the 3. Johnson for 2, he scores off the window. That is smart again. Dayron is, ouch. He is holding his knee, and they get over to him, and it's a good thing that they're putting weight on it, or he's putting weight on it, but he's looking very, very, very ginger, and he's going to go down to the locker room. It's his knee. And no fucking about. He has gone down the race. There was a heavy amount of bodies flying under the Blazers basket, and the Blazers use their final use it or lose it timeout. Let's have a look. Dayron goes up. Was it just knee-on-knee contact, or let's have a look. Oh! Ouch! That's a hyperextension. Ouch. That is bad. There's some hyperextensions which are minor, but that hyperextension is disgusting. That is weeks on the side. Oh, fuck. It's because he got pushed mid-air, which sort of sent him a little bit more parallel to the ground. And as he tried to land, his body was sort of like pushing him forward, but he was still going back. So it's like his leg hyperextended, and there was nothing he could do about it unless he just didn't plant his leg. So Clax in the final 3 minutes and 10 seconds cannot afford to foul. Cannot afford to foul. He's sitting on 5 fouls. Dayron to the bench. And we would have wanted to hold Clax out a little bit longer. So on the outside, it's Simons. The switch. Finney Smith picks him up. The drive. The shot is good. And it's fair to say that was a far easier bucket than what they were trying to get on the previous couple of possessions. Johnson. Claxton. Back to Johnson. Gets into the mid-range. Gets it to Claxton under the basket. And there is a foul on the floor. And it'll be their first in the final 2 minutes. Simons picks it up. And that's a smart foul to give away because, well, obviously, you're not giving away free throws. Even if you did, you're giving them to Claxton. They had the foul to give. So 2:34 to play. The Nets down 3. They were leading basically the entire, well, not entire quarter, the entire game until the 6-minute mark of the last quarter. Bridges, that's a great move. Had the defender in the air. And I'm really impressed with our shot selection down the stretch when we've been trailing. We've been forced to make the right play. We've been making the right shots, and now we've got to get a stop here. Simons doubled. Grant nearly lost it. He's got DSJ on him, and now Simons picked up by Doe. Step back 3. Oh my God, it's off. They get an offensive board. Grant puts one up, and that's off. Get the rebound. Claxton does, and the Nets can take the lead here. We're in the final 2 minutes. Come on. You've been doing everything right. Dennis the drive. The layup is good. Come on. 10-2 run in the last 2 minutes. We have the lead back. Now we don't look back. Simons in a switch. He's got Finney Smith picking him up. The kick out. Johnson knocks it away, and he nearly got the steal. He read the lane. Or read the pass, got in the lane, wasn't able to rake it in. It'll be the Blazers who have another opportunity to get points on the board and get the lead back. 90 seconds to play, only 8 seconds for the Blazers to get a shot up. Defensively, the Nets have been very reactive in the last few minutes. It's the reason they've got the lead. Pass out to Reith. Doesn't shoot the 3. 6 to shoot. Brogdon back in. Oh my god, that's way downtown. Are you fucking joking? Are you fucking kidding me? Just, how is he hitting that? As a defensive group, you can't do anything about that. If he hits that shot, so be it. But only against the Nets does that fucking shit go down. Johnson, oh my god, he pulled the trigger. Why? He was fouled. They're going to challenge that, surely. Are they going to challenge it? They're going to challenge it. These referees have been arse. I don't think that was a foul. I don't think that was a foul. I think that was just another rash Cam Johnson shot down the stretch. Cam Johnson's 3-point percentage in the final 2 minutes has to be like 20%, because it is just fucking abysmal. Did he hit him on the arm at any point? It looked like a bit of a grazer, but I actually cannot tell if that is a foul or not. If anything, it was a light touch. And if it was a light graze, there's nothing in it. There's no space. There's a clear space. He's fucking just missed that jump shot. But they called the foul, so isn't it going to be a jump ball? Because no Blazer had possession, right? Yeah. Because the foul was called well before Jeremy Grant had possession, and obviously if you blow the whistle, everyone's going to stop. So no free throws for the Nets, I don't think. It'll be a jump ball. So that is huge for Portland because they get a second challenge and they keep their timeout. So that's huge. That's really valuable for them. So 1 minute 12 to play in the game, and it'll be Claxton v. Reith in the jump ball. I cannot believe we're trailing. It's actually ridiculous how we're trailing this game. It feels like we've had the upper hand the entire game. Very interesting call for the Nets to run Dennis late game over Spencer. Claxton wins the jump ball. So now we're going to lock in here. The Blazers playing small ball. No Reith. Well, they are playing Reith. Who's off? Scoot isn't playing down the stretch. Bridges has an open 2. Got to hit it. He does. It's all tied at 1:13, and now you've got to get a stop. Operation Stop Anfernee Simons, because I swear to God, this guy's been on one. Bridges picks up Sharpe. My heart is racing, and it's 9:30 in the morning. Sharpe picked up by Bridges on the outside, where in the final minute, it is Simons who comes to collect. Dennis will pick him up. The defense is there. Johnson in the switch. Dennis comes over to help, and he blitzes. Sharpe, 4 to shoot. Brogdon down the middle. Extra pass. They throw it out of bounds. Come on. 1.3. I beg. I beg. Is JV going to challenge this? Oh, nearly off. Portland. Portland are going to use a timeout here. They're going to look for an excellent out of the timeout play. And I am shitting the bed. I am shitting the bed. We could have an OT game. Alright, come on. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back for Nets Cavs later in the week. What are they doing? Why would you challenge that? I guess if it's any consolation, we can't if we want to win the game, we probably it's no use saving this for later. Odds are we're probably not going to use it in the final 34 seconds. So we're challenging it, and I don't think that's a good challenge at all. I'm pretty sure it's off the Blazers. But let's have a look. Wait. Oh my god. Oh. I don't think that's conclusive. I don't think they can overturn that shit. So it looks like JV is going to use the extra time to draw up a play. The Blazers have 1.3 seconds to shoot it. There is 34 seconds left in the game. I swear to God, they've been hitting threes all game. If we hit a fucking, or if they hit a fucking 3-pointer with 1 second on the clock, what a fucking bailout. As has been the case so many times today. This is a really tough call. I suspect this is going to be a long one. So we challenged the out of bounds because it was flung out of bounds. Come on, lads. Knuckle down. Yep. Yep. Come on, lads. I beg you don't fucking throw this. We've got Nic Claxton. Wait, so Bridges. Well, basically the whole starting five, except Dennis has played over Spencer Dinwiddie, which has been an interesting call because in games where Dennis actually plays well, we don't run him. Like last game, Dennis was by far the better guard, and Spencer Dinwiddie looked like a fucking clown, but we closed with Spencer over. We played with Spencer. Oh my god. No way. That was nearly a genius play. Oh my god, they were trying to hack Clax. Johnson, 3, please. Oh my god, he's trash. Finney Smith saved it. Oh my god, that's huge. CJ, you're a fucking terrorist. You idiot. Oh my god, Finney Smith, you are an absolute legend. He knocked it off Simons as he was falling out of bounds. So well done. But are they going to challenge it again? So they were trying to hack Clax on the other side before we even brought the ball up. And so Portland are challenging this as well. So are we seriously challenging all this shit, bro? So for the third consecutive play, we have got a side out. Yeah, Did he land? Let's have a look. Did Finney Smith plant his foot? Oh my god, that is so close. Oh my god. Doe was standing out of bounds. Portland are geniuses. They use their challenges right, and we use our challenges wrong. That is a genius call. Bro, that was a genius timeout play by Billups. Shaedon Sharpe had an open layup and wasn't able to complete it. And then they try to foul Clax. Didn't get the call. It's going to be overturned. Portland are going to have a chance to win the game. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. Every single word the referee has said today has been fucking bullshit. Even though the challenges were 100% right in their decisioning, it just summarizes the way the referees have been today. Those decisions were right, but a lot of decisions have been wrong. So they've got 22 seconds, and for the first time in a long time, ladies and gents, I'm using the stop chant. We haven't had too many close games in recent memory, but this is one where I'm going to employ the stop chant. And if you are a regular member, you've been a long-time member of the channel, you know that when I use the stop chant, they very rarely, if ever, score. It's got like a 95% success rate. So we're going to use the stop chant. It's going to completely compromise my commentary, but all I'm going to do is say stop the entire possession, and you will know for sure my reaction will tell the story. So the Blazers don't advance it. Come on, Nets. Come on. Oh. Oh my God. Oh, what? Where was the 5-second call? JV was counting 5 on his hand, and all he did was stick up the 5. Very, very close to the 5-second violation. They called that timeout just in time. That's their final timeout, the Blazers. So I do believe, do they advance it? So, is that an alarm? Okay. The Blazers are out of timeout, so the stop chant is going to have to wait a little bit longer. All right. Everyone in the chat is saying stop. 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 Okay. You can join in. I'm just going to say stop. If you see me get up and like walk away, you know what's happened. If you see me with a little fist pump, then it means we've gotten the stop. 22 seconds, 23 seconds for the Blazers to get a stop or to get a bucket. The Nets need to get a stop, and they've got a timeout. If you get the rebound, then you have a chance, depending on how much time the Blazers leave, to get potentially an offensive rebound / putback. They do get to advance the ball, so they probably avoid the 5-second violation. So it is Brogdon who will inbound to Sharpe. They've got Grant, Simons, and Reith also on the floor. It's Simons picked up by Dennis. Stop. 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 Oh my God. The chant didn't work. I actually think that is the first time we have ever had a layup scored with the stop chant. I didn't employ it early enough. I had to do it from the very start of the possession. From before the possession starting. That was a really weird bit of offense we played because Sharpe wasn't willing to give up the 3. At which point you probably should have just been like, well, you probably need to just block off the drive. And Claxton allowed him to get to the right-hand side and use the right hand, create that separation, and he scored over the top of Clax. So we've got 5 seconds. Is it a 3 or is it a 2? Is it a 3 or is it a 2? What are you doing? Is it a 3 or a 2? I can already see, it's written in the stars, a Cam Johnson 3-pointer that doesn't go in. I can already fucking tell you. I can already tell you. All right. 5 seconds. We've got Cam Johnson, Bridges. Who else? Finney Smith, Claxton. With Claxton on the floor, that may mean we're going with the 2. You honestly could go for a lob. O'Neal is in to do inbounding duties, so Dennis off the floor, which makes a lot of sense. Oh, please. Please, please, please. 5 seconds, 5.5 seconds to go for the 2 or go for the win. Get it in. Bridges. Drive. Step back mid-range. It's open. Yes! Come on! Come on! Mikal, yes! 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Surely not. Nah, it's ruled out. Ruled out. It's ruled out. We got extra basketball, baby! Mikal, you fucking legend. And he has missed a lot of mid-ranges in recent memory, but he finally got one to go. And now we've got overtime. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. If you are new, we'll be back for Nets Cavs for the Paris game in a few days' time. I'm trying to be excessively quiet because it is 9:30 in the morning. I don't think I did a too good of a job doing that. That make by Mikal was incredibly clutch over the top of Kamara, the step back midi, and we're going to get some extra Nets basketball. So this is where I get the number 4. And where is it? There. And I remove it. Because now we don't have any quarters anymore. It's just an extra overtime period. What happened that quarter? So we scored 22 points. Granted, we looked done for. We were down 7. We had scored 8 points in 7.5 minutes. And then all of a sudden we went on a late quarter run to just wrestle it back right at the end. The Blazers ended with 30 points in that quarter, so they clutched up at the back end there. So we've got one, well, who knows how many overtime periods we could have, but this feels like a game that we could, like, it feels like we haven't won an overtime game in ages. Did we beat the Hawks in overtime? I don't remember off memory, but yeah, we played the Hawks and lost 147-145. And in that game, Mikal went off. It feels like ages since we've won an overtime game, so it seems like we've got the run of, like, we've got the momentum. It feels like the tide has shifted. So, you in Iceland or something? No, I'm in Australia, man. Alright. This way too much stress for 9 in the morning. It is, man, it is. So, 1:15 apiece. It'll be, well, Clax is playing on 5 fouls. Bridges, Dennis is back in. Dennis has played all the way down the stretch. Dinwiddie has actually, well, he isn't, I actually don't think he's played more minutes than Dennis in this game, and that's a first. When they both play, usually it's Spencer getting the bulk of minutes, but fair play for running Dennis down the stretch. Even though offensively we looked a bit munted. We looked absolutely cooked. So, 1 5-minute block to play, unless it is tied, in which we go for another 5-minute block. But let's get through this one first. Lax's 5 personals. The only man I believe in foul trouble. Here we go. Claxton wins the jump, and Finney Smith will collect. So those challenges by the Those challenges by the Blazers came up super clutch as well, because without those challenges, they probably would have been cooked. Got to get it in. Got to get it in. Finney Smith. Dennis on the perimeter. We'll look for Johnson. Back to Dennis. Down the middle. Johnson, top of the key. Great ball movement. Yes! Come on. 118, 115. We're back in front. Come on. Time for a stop now. It's Reith on the outside. Brogdon closing this game out over Scoot Henderson. Grant in a switch. He's got Clax on him. He drives, shoots, and creates the separation and scores. Smart play. Clax on 5 fouls. Can't really afford to, well, concede that foul. And with Dayron down in the locker room, you have no fit centers. Well, you do. You have Harry Giles, but he hasn't played a minute. Bridges on the outside. He shoots a 3. That's badly off. Rebound. I don't know what Cam Johnson was doing, not putting his body in the way. He sort of like tried to half-ass it. Simons the drive. The kick out. Reith. Brogdon. Picked up by Clax. It'd be smart to take him on here. He drives. Good defense by Clax. The kick out to Grant. The 3 is off. It rims out. Unlucky. And the board for Dennis. Looking. Bridges. Drive. Layup. Got it to go. +1. Come on. G up. Good pass by Dennis. He's actually done a really good job of running the offense. A really good job. And Mikal is... It had... Until a certain point in the fourth quarter, Bridges had not scored in the second or fourth. He'd only scored in the first and third. So for him to do what he did late game was incredibly impressive. And the way he started the last has been strong. He's got 38 points, Mikal. Simons shoots over Dennis. That is tough. Dennis cannot do anything about that. And he'll just let the ball roll. They'll chew up a few valuable seconds. And Dennis will wait. He'll give it to Bridges. Bridges will drive, get into the mid-range, shoot again. It's badly off. I don't know if it was partially blocked, but it was well deterred by Reith nonetheless, and the Blazers can tie or take the lead. It is Grant into the mid-range. The layup is good, and yet again, they're attacking that weakness of ours with Claxton yet again. I'll say it time and time again, he's playing on 5 fouls. Dennis, high screen. Looking for Bridges. Shoots the midi again, and he's feeling it. He's cracked 40. So now the Nets just need to hold on. 2 minutes to play. Overtime always goes very, very quickly. Simons is blitzed. Pass out to Brogdon. It's an open 3. That is a terrible closeout. And what's going on? Why would you leave Brogdon of all players open? He's a good 3-point shooter. He fucking tortures us every single time we play him. Every single time. So 124, 123. The Blazers back up after we led by 4 early in the final period. Johnson on the move. Oh my God. How is he so bad from the outside? In the final 2 minutes, I'll say it once and I'll say it again. He's got like a 20% conversion rate from 3. In the final 2 minutes. Every time he gets met with pressure, he just absolutely fucking chokes. Every time. Simons behind the back. Brogdon's open again. It's just terrible defense on Brogdon, bro. Terrible. Bridges. Lost the ball. Oh my God, and they're out in transition. Easy dunk. Oh my God, he nearly got it up and in. It's just absolutely fallen off in this last 2 minutes. How quickly a game can swing, huh? Brogdon hits 2 threes, and all of a sudden you look like an absolute bunch of clowns because you don't close it out. It's just like, why? Why aren't you face guarding him? Why are you late on the rotation? Why are you hesitating? So Sharpe at the line, and he bricks the first. So the door left ajar. And Bridges turning it over. You just can't afford to turn it over. The smart foul by Doe. So Shaedon Sharpe is usually an 84% free throw shooter. At least that's what he is on the season. Today, he's 4 of 7, so left a few points on the table. With 1 minute 14 to play, the Nets are going to have to really dig in here. 11-2 run in the last 2 minutes. Dennis to Claxton. We get it to Bridges. Come on. Come on. Bridges. Good change of pace. And he scores the 2 off the window. 1 minute to play. Yet again, a 3-point game. Got to get a stop. Do not concede a 3. Do not. Dennis to Brogdon. Drive. Layup is good. You're kidding, Mikal. You are kidding me. How the fuck have you let Brogdon decide to do what he's done, man? Get a bucket now. Get a bucket. Come on, Dennis. Extra pass. Claxton. There's a foul with 36 seconds left. Bro, how do we get a Bridges 40 piece and still cannot fucking defend, bro? So 130-25, it looks 125. It looks like we're going to get a timeout. This is the issue, right? So we've actually had a really decent sort of game. On the offensive side, Bridges, I put him in the spotlight. He scored 42 points. He's just gone absurd in this second half. But the problem is Clax has been playing on 5 fouls for ages. And so his rim pressure that he usually provides has just been completely taken away. We've run Dennis for 29 minutes. Dinwiddie's played less. So we've really dried up from 3. We were like 13 of 27, and we've hit one of our last 10. So really leaving a lot to be desired in that respect. Portland, yet again, how have they hit 23s, bro? Brogdon's hit 4 threes off the bench. Sharpe's at 21. Simons has had 34. Grant's at 27. When you have those sorts of scoring nights, well, you'd probably be stiff to lose as well. You are enjoying the stream? Make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well if you are new. We'll be back. The Nets versus Cavaliers in a few days' time. But right now, down 5 with 36 left. Backs against the wall. Can we come up clutch down the stretch? It's going to take something special from here on out. We need to be flawless from here. We need to make a shot, and then we need to get a stop on the other end. That is the bare minimum. Well, the bare minimum is make a shot out of this. And it's got to be a 2-for-1 execution. Oh my god. What a block by Grant. It was a good play. Oh my god. Johnson needed to go with the reverse because Grant was right behind him. If he just, well, Reith is there with the help. So the reverse is probably also cut off. It was a good play. But now free throws for Simons, and he's a good free throw shooter. Oh, I can't believe this. How have we conceded 131? We held them to 50 points. It feels like this is a carbon copy every single game. Every single game, we defend well in the first half. In the second half, it gets pissed up the wall. Dennis blew the layup. Bro, that says a lot. 5-point game. What? We've got 23 seconds. I think this one's done, ladies and gents. But I guess we can hold out hope if he misses the free throws. Oh, fucking hell, man. In the last quarter, sorry, in this overtime period, we've had seven, well, they've had 7 shots. They've made 6. So no defense in this period. Dinwiddie's not actually coming on. Trendon Watford's coming into the game. So what's going on with Spencer? Why am I still watching this game? Well, granted, we've been in it the whole game. Simons makes another. I just don't know how a team can fall off. You know when it was actually probably really lost? Even though we led by 8 at three-quarter time and actually had our biggest advantage in a quarter, conceding 35 in a quarter where we scored 41 was the big issue. Oh, Mikal, what the fuck, man? That's going to do it, man. I cannot believe we've lost to the Blazers, man. You know what? Like, I may be an absolute clown for thinking this way, but I'm not actually... I'm mad because we were up for 3.5 quarters and lost. What I'm not mad about is the fact that it feels like we played well for nearly the whole game. It didn't feel like there was a period of the game where you could look at it and say that was the stage of the game where we sucked. Because there wasn't really a stage of the game here where we sucked. Although, when you look at it in hindsight, conceding 20 points in overtime to the Blazers, a team who average 108 points per game, when you look at it that way, it looks awful. You look at the first half as well. We held them to 50 points. Although every single time it seems we hold a team to 50 points, we score 50 points ourselves. We can't even get a little bit of separation. And that's what we'd been saying all game. We never were able to put the Blazers team to bed. So when they invariably made a run, we were the victims. And ultimately, we've only got ourselves to blame. There were a couple really dumb turnovers, fouls being committed earlier in the game. The referees were questionable at best, but that being said, you can't blame them for, well, your defense in the second half. We gave away 23 pointers. How many times do we have to say this? Defend the 3. And this was in a game where we were switching. So it begs the question, what were we doing wrong? Was it just a case of the Blazers being on one? But it can't be like that all the time. At a certain point, you just have to say, well, it's our fault. So, yeah, I mean, they ended up getting... They got from 5 players 3 or more three-pointers. 3 of them came from their center. Simons hit 5 threes and scored 38. It's great for my fantasy team. It's terrible for me as a supporter of the opposition. They got to the free throw line a fair bit, but that was only later in the game. Shot the ball well overall, but this was a missed opportunity again because you waste a Mikal Bridges 42-point game. It's good to see him getting 42 on such efficiency and getting to the free throw line, but in that last quarter, the free throws dried up. We only had 24 free throws at three-quarter time. And to see at the end of an overtime period, only 1 extra added to that total, that's unacceptable. The 3-point percentage fell off a cliff later in the game because we were shooting like 13 of 28 or something like that. So we ended the game 1 of 9 from 3. We shot the ball well in the end, but the free throw number, we got outdone there, and we had 4 less shots. Did we out-rebound them? We did. We out-rebounded them by 6. 15 turnovers was the killer, though. We had way too many turnovers. And that's probably well, we could have done with a few extra possessions, um, but those turnovers sent it the other way. And then you look at the challenge calls that were successful for the Blazers. That was a really, really good use of a couple of challenges. They were successful on both, so they got an extra look in because of that. If they conceded anything more than 0 points, they would have lost the game in regulation. Like when Doe saved it out of bounds and that was overturned, they got a possession. And ultimately they scored off of it. And then you look at also, what was the other one? Cam Johnson fouled on a 3. They challenged it. They were successful. So there you go, 3 points off the board, off the table. So I'm not as mad at this performance as if, how do I word this? I'm not as mad at this performance than if we didn't show up. Today we showed up. We played really well. We got contributions from a lot. Cam Thomas only played 17 minutes. I would have liked to see him in when the game looked like it was taking a turn. Well, I thought in the last quarter, no, not the last quarter, the overtime period when we were up 4, I thought we could maintain that lead, and then we just completely lost it. Dennis Smith in 29 minutes was a team worst, -19, and he was the worst by a country mile. Prayers up for Shaedon Sharpe as well, because he's been in a really good patch of form, and unfortunately that hyperextended knee could see him out of the game for quite some time. So prayers up to him, but that may mean that we get a Harry Giles look in, and well, it remains to be seen what that will look like, but we may actually very well see some backup Giles minutes. But yeah, this feels like one that got away again. And I think that's going to be a common trend this season. We cannot win clutch games. We just can't. Let's have a look. Blow this team up, no hope. I wouldn't say Mikal scoring 42, there's no hope. Thomas' injury was a big loss. Thomas did not get injured. Well, he got stitches, but he was back on the court and then he went off. Nets are not good this year. I think what you're witnessing is inconsistency. This team screams inconsistency. If Cam Thomas was playing and he didn't get injured, this wouldn't have happened. He was, yeah, as I've said, yeah, he's not injured. Sadly, we are a team of not quite good enough players. This is excruciating. Well, we scored 127 points. Defensively, the first half we were good. As I say, inconsistency. Play a good defensive first half, play a shit defensive second half. And you're going to get killed if you concede as many points as we did in the way that we did. 23 pointers, again, is not good enough. If you give away 23s on any night, you are going to be heavily disadvantaged. I wish Cam Johnson would have hit some of those threes. I mean, he can't hit them all, but yeah, 1 or 2 more, and we could be seeing a different result. They're playing CT less and less. I think they're getting ready to trade him. I wouldn't make that assumption. I think today, we needed to play Cam, but that being said, if we did play Cam in regulation, the game could have been over sooner. That being said, we needed him earlier in the fourth quarter to actually get that offense going, because 8 points in 7 minutes isn't good enough. Cam got cut, that's why I wasn't able to play. He did play though when he returned from getting stitches, so he was on the court. There were a lot of bullshit calls though, like really soft calls that, you know, I think there was one that actually sent Clax into his, well, it doesn't matter when it happened, it would have been his, like, if he had one less call, it would have meant that he could play with a little bit more ferocity defensively. And that probably hurt us in the end, because we needed that player, that anchor in the middle. Unfortunately, he was sort of a little bit crippled, had his hands behind his back, because he could not afford to foul out with no fit center off the bench. Just yeah, okay, C game, he barely played because he twisted his ankle. I don't think it was that. I just think we decided to play Dennis and Mikal, and that was probably the right move, because if we did play Cam, you couldn't play Dennis, and if we didn't play Dennis, we could have been, well, fair to say, we could have been seeing a 45-point game from Simons as opposed to 38, and the game would have been done in regulation. Nets trash, let's be honest. They're just frustratingly inconsistent. They're not garbage. If they were garbage, they would have lost this game by 20. Cam Johnson playing like Joe Harris. Cam still had 17 points, so he wasn't awful, but it's just down, like, not even down the stretch. In the final 2 minutes, whenever the pressure gets to him, he just shits the bed. Every single time. I need stats. I need stats to see how shit he is when it comes to the final 2 minutes, because it feels like he misses every single shot. He's always short. Always. Why didn't Spencer play that fourth quarter? I think there may be a little bit of a lingering issue with him, injury-wise, because when Dennis fouled out, Watford came into the game over Spencer. So, God knows. Jark Vaughan is not playing the right rotations. I think we've got to cut him a little bit of slack, because I'd love... Like, I'm not trying to sound condescending or anything, but what is the right rotation? What is the right rotation? Because in a game like today where you couldn't stop Simons, you needed Cam for scoring. You probably should have played him earlier in the fourth, yes, but I wouldn't have played him down the stretch. I can't name a single consistent player on our squad. Well, yeah, we saw the other day, everyone perform against OKC. Only player not performing was Mikal. Then in this game, Mikal comes out and scores 42 points. And it was an overdue performance. You can say Sharpe was better than Clax this year. He's been playing phenomenal. He has, but Clax has really lifted the energy in the last... about, I think, maybe 4 games. Clax has looked a lot better. Put in Dinwiddie and Royce O'Neal in the fourth. Why? I mean, I'm just... the reason I ask, put Dinwiddie and O'Neal in the fourth. Why would you do that? Because I want to challenge you here. I just want to say why. Because in previous games, O'Neal and Dinwiddie play, and they get absolutely roasted for being shit. Right? And then we'll do some fucking backflips on those things, and we'll say, well, like, now we're saying we wanted Dinwiddie and O'Neal. Cam Johnson can't shoot under pressure, yes. But would I back an O'Neal, Finney-Smith front court? I think you need to have something a little bit different. Like, Finney-Smith is a different kind of forward. Cam Johnson's a little bit more agile, probably a little bit better at the basket. So I reckon he has him in for those reasons, and that off-ball movement. Cam Johnson's more spot-up. Dorian Finney-Smith is not known as a spot-up shooter. Dinwiddie hits clutch shots, O'Neal hits clutch shots. But then when Dinwiddie bricks threes, we all get mad at him. So which one is it, you know? Are we saying that he's clutch? Like, he didn't play so he was gonna hit clutch shots, or he did play and he was missing all the shots? Like, it seems like he can't win. O'Neal's a little bit different, but at the same time, you have to play O'Neal at the 4, I think, in closing lineups. Because at the 3, I think you don't have enough spacing. So, yeah, it's one of those things where every game, if you lose, things aren't always going to be perfect. There's always going to be something to complain about. Yes, it's one that got away, but I do think that if we are going to lose games, when you look at the losing streak, in like out of those 11 games, where we went 2 of 9, nearly every one of those losses was, as a matter of fact, nearly every one of those losses was 15-point losses or higher. So it is a good thing, if you're trying to take away moral victories, it is a good thing that we lost this way, if any way. I don't want to lose, of course. But I'm saying if we are going to lose, you'd rather the team put up a good fight than not. That being said, I'm not excusing giving away 23 pointers. I'm not excusing, that defensive effort in the second half. Granted, they made some good shots, but you can't allow a team averaging 108 points to score 20 points in overtime. You can't win that way. We didn't get to see Lonnie Walker and Cam Thomas play too many minutes. Lonnie, he's just getting eased back in, and I'm for that. I'm for that decision. Cam just had a bad shooting night. He was doing so well until the Thunder game. He didn't even have a bad shooting night. That's the funny thing. I think it's just because things are more amplified because he missed the big shots late. He actually didn't shoot it that badly. He shot 5 of 11. That's not even a bad efficiency. That's 45%, shooting 38% from 3. That's not that bad. And he got to the free throw line 5 times. That's not awful. I can't really get too mad about CJ's game. You can never make the fans happy. Of course you can't. There's always going to be something to complain about. And look, there's games where I've been completely down in the dumps, but today I feel isn't one of those games. There were a lot of things we could have fixed up. Turnovers being one of those things. Very careless with the basketball, and I've noticed that the last couple of games, the better we've gotten defensively, or the more defensively active we've looked, the more turnovers we commit. And there's no correlation between those two numbers. I don't know why it happens. It's my best guess. Joe Tsai doesn't want to win a championship. You don't hire coaches like Jarphorn if you want to win a championship. Well, all things considered, I don't think we're contending for a championship, clearly. The overwhelming reality is, despite any positives, we just let the Blazers score 134 points on us. Which, it's even worse when you lay out all the facts and if I told you that we had allowed only 50 points in the first half, you would have called me crazy, and you would have told me that the box score is fraudulent. Because if you hold a team to 50 points in one half, you should not be allowing as many points as you did in the second half, and then overtime boosts it a little bit more. So I guess when you dumb it down also, you say, well, we only conceded 115 points, but we should not have we shouldn't have scored 8 points in 7.5 minutes. The Blazers started the last quarter. They started the last quarter on a 23-8 run. And from then on, we had the chase tail. And from that stage, it looked like we were chasing the game, barring maybe the start of the last. Or barring the start of overtime, sorry. We just need a couple of stars who can take over the game. Well, we had Mikal do that for us today, and we still couldn't win. So, yeah. It is what it is. Every time Mikal scores more than 40, we lose games. It feels that way. I think the last time he scored 40... Actually, let's do a little bit of... We'll do a little bit of recon here. Can't even speak. Probably need to take a sip. Okay, so if you want to hang around, you can. I'm just going to quickly check what Mikal's record is when he scores 40 or more. Okay, so as we know today... okay, I'm just going to change this. Can we interact with that? Yes, we can. Okay. All right, game log. Here we go. So, let's filter by points. Here we go. So, he scored 45 against the Hawks. We lost. Scored 42 against the Magic. We won. And that's the only time he scored 40 or more. So, there you have it. There you have it. Thanks for watching. He's only scored over 30 4 times before today. We lost when he scored 31 against the Bucks. one when we beat the Hawks. So yeah, it's a bit of a tough one to gauge. But look, overall we lose. It doesn't really matter how it happens. We lost. We will be back for Nets versus Cavaliers. Where did I get that hat from? Don't actually remember. But it was a while ago, so I don't actually think I could help you there. Um, that's going to do it from me. I hope you did enjoy this stream. It was an early one, but I actually was quite awake for it, so I guess that's a good sign, good thing. We will be back for Nets Cavs. It's actually earlier in the day than this one, which means I'm going to have to wake up even earlier to watch it. So it would be grouse if we could get as many people in as possible. It's our only game for the week until we play the Heat start of next week. So yeah, make sure to tune in for it because obviously it's once in a blue moon type stuff. But yeah, thank you for tuning in as much as we didn't win today. At least it was good fun, some good moments. But yeah, we will be back for Nets versus the Cavaliers in Paris in about 3 days. Have a good one, everyone. Stay safe. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.